a game against one, and they've won every single time quite concisely with the same comp. They're playing the most standard comp, the most flexible comp, where you can adapt quite easily to any
Elimination versus Shilai.
I want to see, does Shilai change things up?
First
what
map
is that
Lotus
going to look like? And I'm going to leave it to the casters to answer all of those
questions. Here we go. What happened after 12:30? Right, Samuel?
We got our first best of 3.
My W shiver was good, bro. What happened after 12:30 yesterday? Bro, my power went out.
No idea what time it is in America
for about
right now.
45 minutes.
Dimension, but XLG,
and
they will
yeah,
not go
it went out.
the same way
I don't know.
they did
it was crazy.
in Toronto.
I never seen that before.
Maps.
A little bit of a change up
Good
in terms
morning.
of what we're going to see on the
It's fucking
XLG
2 a.m. man. It's good evening at this point.
Happy way on the Viper this time
Saw
around.
him party later?
And question marks of what Havoya is going to play. Guess what? It's going to be
Wait, move the UI, you fucking dickheads.
It does look like XLG want to stick towards this double duelist look that they showed yesterday.
They heard me.
Which we were expecting a little bit more out of them. Havoya, though, wants more big
the quality
shoes
looks better
to step
today, or
into,
I don't know if I'm
particularly
tweaking
if he's
out.
going to be on a duelist position for a coach player.
Sorry, let me turn
that
this
hasn't
up.
been in the game for at least a year.
Yeah, Havoya played a little bit of duelist, mostly the Jet, but a lot of explosivity from XLG.
I'm more awake today? I don't think I'm more awake. I feel more tired today.
That's
so
weird. So
but I feel more tired today,
just trying to see if XLG
are
going to take the initiative of trying to maybe poke out of C
Yesterday
and
I
have
had
a
less
walk-up,
sleep.
something that Sen City have studied and have seen in the past. And Sen City are also putting some baits out there. Of course, opening the door with that Viper wall-up. It's going to cause some paranoia for XLG.
That's Nere. Come on,
very
bro.
Safely in the back is going to be Raga here, and he will be falling off.
The fuck? That ain't no John Cutie.
Scenario for XLG to begin things. Should be able to get a default plant here as well. Just going to rush their way directly into Hall. Traded, though, is Raga for 1, so keeping numbers still reasonable for XLG's retake.
4v4?
Sen City were like, is anybody home? Like, they just got the site for free. They got immediate first blood. It was traded.
No
and
way.
just needs to lock in. That looked like something he could have won against Havoya, but it's an opening
Second
that
just
XLG
needs to
can
lock in
work
is
with
crazy.
now. Sen City, their backs are against the wall, trying to keep the spike planted with the united army of XLG. That dismantle the Sentinels on pistol.
Start. That didn't look great. We can't win a fucking pistol.
3 up as well.
That's 0-3 for pistols.
And let's get the plant off of that one.
Wait,
XLG.
Hoya's their coach?
Initial trade, Raga
Are you
1 to
fucking
1,
kidding me?
helping numbers out a little bit and coming back for a strong
Don't tell me
retake,
that.
showing why XLG want to play this map.
That is their coach.
Let's take a look at how this one runs through, and always good to see that Havoya. There's again question mark of how he was going to look, but
where the fuck is their 5th?
For that first kill on that retake, as well as we head into our first eco for Sentinels, and
let's choke them.
I saw 2K for Viva there as well.
EWC made them roster lock before they signed No Man, so Havoya had to play. Damn.
Okay. XLG
this is a lose-lose for us. If we beat them, no one cares because they had a coach. If we lose, we're shit.
Almost caught him, but with the orb back up, Sen City
this is the most dangerous match you can be in.
Closer to their ultimates. Now opening that door, seeing if XLG are there. Not having any B presence from Sentinels, they do have to watch their back, but now checking that out, they feel confident going forward as Raga is trying to escape. You're gonna have some waterfall reinforcements from XLG soon, but Happyway is just different on the anti-eco, looking nearly flawless until that anchor falls, but still 4 weapons into bonus.
Really nice.
They had the wrong cameras,
Raga come up with 3, or he's stepping up. Big frags every single round.
The caster's a Sen fan?
Gun round now for Sentinels. 2 away.
The guy or the girl? I'll pay attention.
Reasonable amount is the only player that's actually gotten kills on the Sentinel side.
Hoya is legit?
Haven't really had too much exploration.
This is not good news.
Over towards B either for this team.
The girl?
XLG
okay, I'll pay attention. All right.
They're going to be playing a few more members.
Bonus
rounds. This time around. Once again, Raga, he'll be up first. He looks like he wants to get aggressive straight away.
Time to jump.
Yeah, just not having a real Sentinel for XLG. You're going to have good delay with the double controller, but not the full stoppage. So Sentinels
4-1.
I've already realized that. They haven't really hesitated. Just really playing off the Prowler that Neri has put out before, and it's been now multiple C hits. But you do have a look activating from John Cutie, and with that,
we gotta fix these cams, but that's okay.
Exchange some blows with XLG, but realizing the number disadvantage John Cutie is at, he's going to back away.
XLG is actually going to play reasonably far back as well.
In case you missed it, if it helps, Hoya used to play on Crowd, which was a legendary CIS roster. It had Hoya, Cloud, and Thirka. Thirka was on that team?
Momentarily, as well as we have the rotation from Sentinel over towards Rubble. Not too much exploration from John Cuda so far either, but he did show presence there a little bit earlier.
Looks like someone I know, but nah, I don't know him.
That's going to be first blood, bang. Straight on to Coconut. Wall comes up a little bit too late to save Coconut.
He speaks Chinese and Russian and English.
Now straight through into tree, onto site, nobody's home.
Yeah, this will be pretty easy for Sentinels, but it's the retake they have to worry about for XLG. They're going to wait to be united while XLG still wait for their Viper, but you know, with the Sheriffs,
this match is not free, not that I expected, not that I thought it would be. Nice second.
The smokes dissipate. Zekin is front and center
nice,
as the bodyguard, and John Cutie has the right lane. Now Rod
yes,
will
I
be
need
next,
that.
and no utility to try and surprise Sentinels with. They just walk down one by one, and
okay, I've already noticed. I already noticed today. Like I know we've only seen one map from Sen, but Zekin already feels more aggressive to start the game off compared to yesterday. Like, I feel like yesterday he was like playing kind of passive to start the series. But today it looks like he's kind of like starting off really aggro.
Into flawless, everything you'd want. Entire site for free. Let's see. Potentially a larger setup now for XLG on the A side of things.
The new Fred Again song you're talking about with Playboy Max?
Watch for the early C's paint shells.
Waiting for this nightfall, but Sen have to fully commit, and they've had success at C, and XLG has changed things up, but it's really the hit towards A and trying to punish the two-stack that XLG have had in the past over there, using the paranoia.
They literally left that guy to die.
Shots spam through XLG, forcing them into cover through tree. Great
nice
headshot
shot
from Zekin, and Sentinels will trade and still have the number advantage with the Prowler clearing through stairs. A nightfall to try and be proactive against what as Sentinels thought was going to be an anchor, and XLG will peek through stairs.
Coconut just left on an island there. TP's all the way onto rubble, but the wall cuts him off from the rest of the help that XLG could have given him. And the Sentinels complete disrespect to the coach of XLG, running him down a tree. At least he trades 1-for-1. And Nightfall will clear the site. Not that anyone was really home in the first place, but these two members from XLG coming through tree could be the X factor. Raga shut down early though.
Nice peeking, John.
The Prowler was on the left side when the rest of Sentinels were on the right, so the timing a bit off from XLG. Trying to fully get value out of their initiator.
Good job.
So Vivo will hope to hold the Vandal while Sentinels.
When Tarik was playing professionally, Zekin was like 8. In 2014,
the 1v2 could have potentially been.
What was your Zekin born?
For another 20 seconds, that would have been really useful. Viva's going to walk away from this one. He didn't have full health.
Zekin was born 2005. When I went pro, he was.
It's just going to be full Vandals across the board for everybody.
Why is that math not mathing right now? 9. Holy fuck, he actually was 9 when I went pro.
We'll get that nice round.
That's insane.
A finish. On an empty side, you can see once more Coconut. Left down in the open there. At least he was on the high ground.
I don't like doing that kind of math. No more of that shit. Whatever that was, we cut it out right there.
Yeah, I think just the two-stack.
That wasn't even a roast. That was factual. Yeah. But that's why it hurt even more.
In the grouping. You just had to flip a coin and pick what side you want to play Ring Around the Rosie on A. So Sentinels with a big clapback and a stronger post plant. Withstanding
Zekin with the Outlaw.
Zelsis
shooting
so well, but with the save from XLG, they're going to do as much damage and have a surprise with these walk-ups towards spawn that Sentinels are expecting.
Well, they put the hero rifle to Raga. That was the rifle saved by Viva that he'll reclaim into his own hands once again.
All right, fix these fucking cams now.
The unfortunate thing is they didn't consider that Zekin was going to bring an Outlaw into this round, so nobody came with full armor, not Raga either. At least Viva will trade and retrieve his own rifle back to keep things a little bit more competitive. But we're not expecting much.
Okay, you're trapped on an island with 2 agents. Who are you taking with you?
Before it's all said and done. And yeah, once more, just looking at the players alive here, all within one-shot range for Zekin.
They can use their abilities.
Anyway,
like that Sen have already been adapting to, expecting the presence from XLG at A long, and Viva gets a surprise.
How is Omen TPing you out? Omen can only TP himself out.
The smokes, so pivoting towards B after seeing that fade fall back to A.
Well, they see that the fade of Viva was on A.
Sky and Sage? What are you doing with Sky on an island? Like, you're having her dog through the forest?
In top mid, be up, it's possible.
Oh, for heals?
Beat his timing in any case. Prowler's going to spot him now. Easy shots from Zekin.
Yeah, being proactive. I love that center getting aggressive, and that's to stop the
Sky for hunting
XLG
and healing.
Retake. Before it gets too spicy, and Viva will be forced
Phoenix
to save
helps
once
with fire.
So XLG had a fun flank going on. It just takes a bit of time for that to really happen. This is a big map to rotate on, especially on the A side. So Sentinels made the right choice of seeing the presence from
Viper
A
and Reyna, I'm not there for a long time, but a good
was
time.
Kind of lost already on that initial pillars play. Trying to get aggressive with Raga. Didn't have full armor, even though he died to the Vandal.
Silva for hunting and Sage. I'm not gonna lie, I think Sage is good. Because low-key res could come handy. And she has heals. And then I think after Sage, I'm probably bringing like a...
Use his own body to check over towards A side.
What ult would be the most helpful on the island? Probably an Omen to ult out and let people know where we are. I bring a Sage to keep me alive long enough so that Omen can tell someone to come get us. That's my strat.
Sentinel's just looking so cohesive, just everyone watching different angles, no kind of mix-ups. Zekin being forward as that raise and being ready for when these smokes drop, where really always having good reads
Sage
on where
walls
XLG
me in
will be
somewhere
retaken
safe.
From. And Viva has been
heals me once I'm like starting to get hurt, and then reses me if I die, and that time Omen got to help.
You love to see that, but it will be.
I'd take the raise ult so I can kill myself. All right, cool. Anyway, 3-2.
Front-facing defense in a one-and-done position, and despite the paranoia, it's open something XLG have been able to benefit from.
This open shooting season for Sentinels, they completely dismantle every player that XLG show up with.
Wait,
on C,
I like this version of Zekin.
On Mount,
I didn't see what happened, but I like it.
Flawless.
Focus.
Even on the opposite side of the map, John Cutie gets his revenge on Viva, so there is not a single kill to be found, not a single
Sorry for the annoying
for
question, but any news about Sun City? What the fuck does that mean?
Just a complete washout of that XLG defense.
Why not harbor infinity water? You're on a fucking island, bro. You already have infinity water. What do you mean infinite? What are you gonna do with infinity water?
Hey, the saving grace would be, okay, if XLG save your
Sentinels
use a bunch of their ultimates, it'd be great for
in that
XLG
case, I didn't read that question.
Get rid of those resources and to try and mount a comeback later on, but I don't know if XLG want to use your ultimates. I don't think this would be a good round for it.
Oh, J-Nam, what are you, the fucking receipt man?
Grouped up, ready to go.
Put the fries in the bag, buddy.
Side, of course, expecting that John Cutie is always going to be defaulting in this position. That could be on for a potential free kill into upgrade.
You go for XLG, focus.
They'll just back themselves off. It'll be happy weight solo on Mound, looking for a shot, but he didn't really bring. I think he had the Marshall here.
Are you guys with unhinged enhancers? Like some of you guys are not funny, so just stop.
XLG first in a lobby, of course, their Viper wall there too allows that Sentinels can't really scale up to A as confidently as they did before, especially around the Rubble side. So now trying to explore the opposite side of the map, it is going to be just pivots back and forth from Sentinels to try and find that weaker side.
Those are the two guns that Warbro and the Marshall and the Guardian are dropped. So now XLG basically have not really anything left to say in this particular round. Showstop would be the only tool. Expecting Sentinels to go up 5.
The stream is like lagging, 30
FPS.
FPS.
Clean and they'll be able to drop any members in silly situations. Coconut spotted, Coconut down.
Yeah, Zekin's playing well, and he knows it.
Damn, Zach! It's not ranked, bro.
Like that. And against the save, you just want to farm XLG when you
Dude, our
can.
stats versus...
Out of the
I'm
last
not gonna
5 rounds that Sentinels have won,
shouldn't you be sleeping, Grandpa?
2 of them have been flawless. So XLG really got to try and hit hard against this armor.
Now, we expected Sentinels to be good today, and we talked about on the desk that this was probably going to be a one-sided
Build a Valorant
game.
team where you're past CS teammates and fill their roles.
Until the possibility for XLG to do something a little bit more special comes through, but not looking like the case at the moment. Another round decided extremely early on, really just in the first 15 seconds. An opening play aggressively coming through for an XLG.
Yeah, I'm putting myself on Duelist.
Completely shut down. Previously it was over towards the pillar side. This time it was on Mount.
I got Cold Zero on Killjoy.
Tactical timeout. This is the first gun round they've had in quite some time.
I got Fallen on like Initiator, like Cold Zero on Sentinel, Fallen on Initiator, Stewie on Flex,
taking tools as well.
And then
now on the XLG side, they're really lacking the information when they're running the double duelist. I mean, Havoya played Sova yesterday, I believe, and just known for his initiators, and having, I think, a Sova or even a Fade would have just allowed XLG to swing into an area where they can kind of know what's coming. And they're trying to group up, and well, if they don't know what's coming, they'll at least try to outnumber Sentinels, but unfortunately are just losing those duels. So, and you're not seeing the firepower from utilizing that raise, or at least that second duelist quite yet.
They really haven't had a lot of money to play through for most of the rounds, and Havoya has been able to get a couple of kills in there largely.
If not Tim,
a pleasant surprise to see the coach be able to mechanically perform up against some of North America's absolute best in the server.
How many rounds do you think this Val team will get against Paper Rex right now?
John spots it, well, he just smell it out.
The team I just put together?
I'm wondering if he even wanted to early pick
here
Happy Way. I mean, Seaside has been hit, and Now the steel guard.
And I mean this respectfully to Paper Rex. We get 1 round.
Of course, you got the teleport in. Sentinels established.
Respectfully.
Retake. Trying to be a little bit quicker this time. It is the pit to try and retake some of the space. Pit v pit. This is just a no man's land, and Sentinels happy to be hidden from all of this while the
Wait, what's happening in this round?
It's going to allow them to defend, but
nice sack.
you have the Nightfall.
That was just chill, dude.
As XLG have to send their double duelists to clean up what they started, but they just can't seem to unite with just all the vision being up.
The fuck is Raga doing?
Trade blow for blow, and
what's up, Happy Way?
Get the last laugh.
Just not too sure what happened to the comms there. You have the Dimensional Drift, as mentioned, walking through, getting all the information. You want to talk about scouting information, you're not going to get too much better than that. And of course, Avoya pulls out the showstopper, really pings onto members, run past by Raga here, throw
we saw that.
Into
Yeah, we
saw
that
position,
shit.
And you won't get the kill. And Avoya just dies, doesn't even get to shoot at the end of the day. And XLG, they threw everything they had into that round. Tactical timeout into their first full buy in quite some time.
What time was 100 D's play?
Yeah, they got a decent amount of
Can't fucking
Sentinels
talk.
ultimates out
5:15
there. But I think it says a
Pacific.
lot that you have as
I'm developing a
confident
list
enough to not even throw in the showstopper, which would have been super nice versus the pit. But they're just such a good team.
Zach with the outlaw again.
Seconds already got Coconut down again.
Yeah, XLG
is Hoya top fragging over there?
This time,
he's doubled his kills. Wait, how did he do that? This guy's supposed to be a coach.
Being able to get the orbs to hopefully getting more impact out of those two, but the double pit, I mean, I don't blame both of these duelists having a really hard time, so Sentinels with the number
Is this Dulcis or John?
Will be trying to get a point up.
So this is a big swing around.
This is
the XLG opportunity. They actually get these really nice opening picks. They've been failing to get these time and time again. Multiple rounds, early face up, early failures.
No.
Sheriff only takes down Zek and dodges the outlaw shot.
Happy Way is just warming up.
Wow, we got
has his back, and okay, some signs of life from XLG, yeah.
Really nice stuff. I think they brought in a rifle too, potentially, but largely they still had a bunch of members on pistols here. They just needed to have the success early on. And here it is once again, Havoya, they trust him.
Nice shots by Hoya.
And Raga, the two duels on the squad, but of course, one of them being China's best, the other one being a coach, to have that level of confidence that, you know what, he's still on raise. We can still trust him. Put the gun into his hands, and he did, in fact, deliver there. Well played.
What time is this match local time?
It's a must-win for XLG to go forward to build off of this, or you're just going to continue to drown against Sentinels. And now you got a showstopper from Zekin. He's 12-5. He's having a field day. And once again, Sentinels match up so well against Chinese teams.
I need a Rebel. I have one.
They've cooked up something better for their A-hold. Now 4 on that side of the map. And Sentinels are just not going to mess with it this time.
Raise Rocket, here we go.
It's the first time we're really seeing Sentinels explore B. They've been mostly gone into extremities. Double satchel.
Yeah, you better run.
That'll be a free side.
As soon as you see that Prowler, where is that fade hidden? Zekin blinds.
Damn, he held that shit out.
Be a threat, but
Fatal.
XLG coming through the
use
top
that Fatal,
of the
Narrate.
site, the smoke
Rip it.
obscures
No,
Narrate.
left. Use it on the link. On the link, Narrate. On the link. On the link.
Around the corner. There it is. The Nightfall. XLG can just stay hidden.
It's like he doesn't hear me.
Time is of the essence, and XLG
we're losing the trades.
Push link. Sort of flank from Coconut coming through the
No, man. Our fucking post plan sucks dick. Why are we all sitting in the corner?
There's just no information. Sentinels, we're not too sure exactly where the retake was going to come on through from. So
we VOD review that?
Being sent into B up, unfortunately, it was only Havoya there. And the bulk of the members on the retake was actually coming through from the left side, the C link, and that's where the success was found. All those triple-facing players eventually working their way through.
Tarik, please sub in so they can win.
For that Sentinels.
Oh, man, I guess I'll have to. Fuck.
Entirely on the site itself, not a single member off-site would have maybe expected that one or two players
Viva
could
la
have been
vida,
playing
long live life.
towards B main, close to the pillars or close to the door. XLG.
G2 is losing 2-10.
Reasonable retake, and they got the two ultimates out of Zekin and Narrate that they had been holding on to.
They have a sub though. It doesn't hit the same,
I'm going to
dude.
see more signs of life from XLG now, which is nice.
Oh my god, what is this?
The gap a little bit more.
Yeah, Sen may just want to go to the opposite side of the map if they're going to be met with this much contention from XLG at A lobby, but this time, Sentinels,
they are losing 2-10. Holy fuck.
Losing the duel, beautiful
oh, that guy's name is Viva. That's why you guys are saying that.
Sentinels will trail, but they open up the vision.
I just realized.
Of course, XLG do as well, but they stay as hidden as they can, and Sentinels have to figure out what is next.
XLG finding more and more value now over on this
Cam is
side.
fixed.
One around through here.
Right now it is. 2v3.
The pseudo thrifty. Voya on the line. He's ready. In fact, he knows. He sees the rifle. He sees the barrel, and that's going to cost John QD's life.
It's just not ideal when you just had a controller and a Sentinel trying to clutch and still scale through and clear
1v3 Zelsis.
Sentinels, I think, did the right move last round to just kind of abandon A and out-rotate XLG, but this time, they just try to fight fire with fire, and unfortunately, Sentinels don't have the same blaze as before. Now trying to come through the backside of B. I like this idea that Zeus in a 1v3 has time to go to C.
It's just a tough 2 versus 3 situation if you don't possibly trade or at least have John go 1-to-1 there, which wasn't going to be possible given peeked a little, his body was rifled.
Oh!
He would have wanted to. Okay, whoa. Oof.
Had good initial damage. Like the idea from Zeus is to just have as much space between him and the retake as possible, so that he had time to set up his thorns. And almost, Zeus could have pulled that off.
The Arc Bros nearly gave it to him, but there was 3 members there. 2 of them were flashed, and Havoya was still able to come through.
Damn, it's 6-5 off that eco round they won, dude.
Even if that wasn't
that round that Hoya got those 2 kills.
You would imagine
and that post plant we lost as well.
Yeah, that was almost got spicy there. You respect what Zeus was able to do.
Is 6 good on attack?
Got enough done that he's actually farmed.
Any armchairs in the chat?
Into our final round of the half. Got a couple more that could get interesting here. A couple of double kills. You start to see Dimensional Drift come through, but really it was the opening play on the A side again that just cost too many numbers. Didn't help then. Another freebie coming through around the A side. Near stairs. John dying, forcing the 1v3.
They have double op.
First op and Odin. Oh, double op. Look at this.
Fucked.
Odin is loud and proud through the tree side, and finally Sentinels are just going to abandon the mission. But is it B or is it a C pivot? You're going to watch, of course, Happyway with the op, and he could get that opening pick for XLG.
Odin actually did reasonable damage, and they're right down to 66. Bang down to, what is that, 111 or something like that?
Prowler, oh, it is just going to get a bite out of that op and force Happyway out of position. Could still get a good peek, especially on the high ground, and Sentinels are still going to want to push
the best team in China.
Okay.
They probably have to be considered the best team in China now, right? After Toronto.
Sentinels having to work their way and navigate through. At least one of the operators was 2, just 1 now. Havoya taking down Zelsa, Steel Garden offline now. John's still there though.
They lost to FPX. Oh, in the league?
Two ops.
Oh, yeah, because VCT China started, right?
Map, so it's not going to be a good site to hit.
John's also revealing positioning here a little bit. Open the door, hoping to get some rotators out from C, but not going to be the case.
Zekin does cross the road before getting cut off, and I wonder if he saw that number on
nice.
that lower path. Doesn't matter. Sentinels support each other so well. It is still a 3 versus 3. Now with that nade, it is going to delay the plant, and there is a showstopper through the fire and the flames. Havoya,
nice, John. Good trade, too.
Traded by Sentinels. Time running out.
John is low. 10 seconds.
And XLG may have just prevented it. John Cutie has to do it here and now, and just can't. With the pressure coming through Waterfall, it's a 6-6.
It's okay, 6 is fine.
Maybe this was going to be the match of the day. Maybe you were right, XLG. Want that revenge match. 6-6. It was the end of the half, and look, various moments there, it wasn't looking pretty at all. Was it Sentinels?
Tyson has 100K views on YouTube.
On that particular first half as well, at least 5 of Havoya's popping off. You can tell he's happy about his performance, and he should be. Picks up the operator, gets that kill,
ranked.
Gets a hero rifle.
Holy shit, he does.
Pivotal, semi-thrifty round, a couple of hero rifles in there, restaurant pistols. And Raga stepping aside a little bit.
Why, or what happened?
Limelight over to coach Havoya on the other duelist. In a surprising fashion, we kind of saw some of the mechanics were reasonably sharp yesterday from Havoya, but now up against NA's finest, up against Zekin and the rest, Zelsis, who's been very solid yesterday, is included. Havoya somehow on this race come through in a big way.
He's been live for 11 hours?
A huge surprise.
Better late than never for Havoya. Definitely had a slower start, starting like 2 and 6, a big show.
Someone in the chat said, if you botting my king, you wouldn't dare.
Duel between him and Zekin, which I guess you wouldn't have expected to say. But XLG, you could tell just with how loud they're being behind us. These are just loud personalities. And Sentinels have to think through this halftime how they're going to try and withstand the double duelist of XLG now that they're going to be on offense.
Might still have a playing career ahead of him if this continues, if this performance continues. Obviously, plenty of rounds in the middle there where it just looked completely over for XLG. SEN in full control. At least 5 rounds in a road to memory that they got, possibly even 6. But beyond that, you had that tactical timeout coming through from XLG.
2-12? G2 losing 2-12?
Into a lot of ultimates, and it was a complete wipeout. They got nothing done.
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, those stingers, like they might work some magic, but that B main control, just too much for G2 to deal with. You know, both teams just kind of...
No Leaf, no Teo, and That's what you get, man.
Massive recovery from round 9 onwards, and really that round 9 was the double hero rifle round, and they suddenly win a lot of these opening duels on a rubble, which they were not winning previously. Certainly were not winning on mound.
And previously, XLG just depended so much.
Why does a lot of people hate G2? I don't know. I just do it.
Because Happyway, I think, has shown really good performances, but this is a more well-rounded XLG where everyone is having their pop-off moments. From Viva and Havoya yesterday having quieter moments. Now everyone pretty much has 9 kills on that team. So Sentinels have to cook something up special for the pistols, and they won a lot of those pistol rounds against XLG in the past. But it was XLG that kicked off our first pistol. We'll see if they can do it again.
All right.
Yeah, and thankfully they got those, because otherwise the scoreline would have been a lot more favored for Sentinels. You can only imagine how things would have been. See what happens with this 5-man look from XLG all the way through rubble. Quiet so far. No signs from Sentinels as they'll just walk through, door closed.
Who's that there?
We're going to go through that B-Link door from Sentinels. Kind of surprised they wouldn't want to try and cut off those rotations or have multiple angles, just trying to play this from front to back, and now Sentinel's trying to back away against the Prowler. But it is going to be Nary by himself, not linking up with
Nice, now you get 2.
Is still punching hard against XLG, who've lost a lot of that real estate, a lot of that manpower.
Oh, trade? Nice.
Stairs on
1v2.
Traded 1-for-1, leaving Viva to do hard work, and while blinded, it's not going to be easy. He does stay safe against John Cutie, and Bang gets some damage into Bang.
Oh my God, he's low.
This is winnable for Viva. Bang shows us his moment carefully.
Let's go.
Takes it for Sentinels.
Let's go.
Sole survivor again. Viva seems to usually be the
God,
one.
He right-clicked him.
XLG still up when the rest of the team falls. What a fast rotate from Sentinels. You can see that Zelsis was solo on A for quite some time. That would have been nasty for him to face into 5 players from XLG, but very quickly start to see the rotations coming in. Zekin is there. Narray backs up Zelsis as well, and suddenly things start to swing in the favor for Sentinels, leaving into a 2 versus 1, which did get spicy towards the end in a 1v1 that could have gone either way. But numbers still barely in advantage for Sentinels as they'll pick up the pistol. Denying that one away from XLG, who got the previous pistol.
Why did they take pause?
And in previous interviews, Bang has talked so much about his teammates and how incredible they are. And he's like, yeah, I had an okay career. Yeah, I won a stage. And, you know, he doesn't consider himself as awesome after what we saw. I think he should be. But he's working so hard to get to the point where he can be just
He's like, when I'm shooting them, they're not dying.
And just all of the work that this team has had to do to be on a good trajectory, to be on a good path, to be at a top 3 spot one day, their goal is a championship. And it's taken a toll on this team, and they've had really to balance between working as hard as you can, but also finding time to relax, because you don't want to burn out, you don't want to retire early. And Sentinels have talked about being on a path where they are just getting better and better every single day.
Well, they don't have G2 to stand in the way this time, who they lost to domestically in VCT Americas. Paper X to the game, round 2 of the second half to catch you in. Sentinels, pretty damn good opening on the pistols. Did come down to short numbers, however, they do retain the lead.
What do I think happens?
They come back, down to a big
when
clutch, or at least a closeout from Bang, and now they buy up on the anti-eco. And it's just Narrate having to hold this back as best as he can. The numbers stacked for XLG, but with the smoke, they're not just getting spammed through. They kind of hesitate whether they wanted to retreat or not.
Damn you, Narrate.
Well,
I can see you right now, bro. You stole his ace. I see you. I see you. I'm watching Bang, but I see you.
One dead, and now he's going to be the sole survivor, no longer Viva. A near flawless coming through once again. We'll see what XLG look once they finally get the rifles. Looking once again at Coach Havoya.
Why is the stream 30 FPS? Please fix it.
He's already starting to put up some numbers, and it is the day in the tournament for coaches to be putting up numbers as to sort of round out that conversation we're having about G2 as well. Finish up that first map of Sunset versus BLG despite losing 3 and 13. It was actually Shaq, assistant coach at G2, stepping in Leaf's position that top fragged in that game. So
you guys remember that like ritual thing that someone did for Team Paper X, where they put their name in the water? Or something.
Continue with XLG's gun round. A couple of retained
items
from Sentinels in the previous as well.
And we can maybe finally see the impact of.
Can I get that done for me, like
a Sentinel
like,
for Sentinels?
Like my picture just for
my brain there for a second, but
me?
Zelsis will have his wall sort of further back. Thorns
a digital snan.
Ready to flash.
Can someone get a digital snan done for me?
Pushed in that area. Sentinels have a 1-2-2 setup as XLG hope to storm into C very soon.
All right, just tweet it to me. Let me know. Thank you.
Gonna be playing for retake on C here. Checking through the box, plenty of presence shown, instant poison all to come through, and fast rotations expected.
I like the preemptive escape from John Cutie. Just not wanting to give a chance. As
you are too far gone. No Snana is saving you. It's a Paper X.
XLG are just not immediately getting in. They were delayed by John Cutie's orb, so XLG are gonna have to re-clear with the Sentinels team that are more ready for it this time as the haunt is thrown from Mary, getting vision in. Sentinels,
everyone focus.
But this corner should be safe for now, especially with Zekin getting smoked off. Still has a nade, of course, and double satchels if he wants to get freaky. And Sentinels are just really suppressing them and waiting to hear that spike get planted. But now it is a rotation from Zekin to join through the front lines.
5-man back haul?
Going to be another angle to get through. Sentinels are going to just flood in all together. Now getting some shots in.
Oh,
XLG
not
just
blind.
hold the back. Sentinels trickle in and really not.
You see this retake right here? You see this retake we just went for right here? Or did?
Hold it down, and it's only just Zelsus.
Oh my god.
Waiting for the plant to come on through before the retake comes in, and everyone making their way into halls and falling down to the firing squad.
They are playing online, not on land. They're 30 ping. I know, I've already seen that. We saw that yesterday.
They even want to clean up Zelsus here as well. Happyway finding him over towards Pillar for the flawless, and now XLG start to feel a little bit more confident. They get their own flawless back in, and this is going a lot differently to how we see that first half. If you sort of remember that one, round 3, gun round, going over towards Sentinels, and then 6 in a row. Straight away, here comes the timeout from Sentinels as they are starting to see momentum building for XLG, considering how the last 4 rounds of the first half went. Now, instantly on the first gun round, a flawless. That is quite a statement from XLG.
Yeah, because what really hurt XLG in that first half was the economy.
It's a bonus, chill the fuck out. You chill the fuck out, pussy boy.
Very, very good that XLG won that first rifle round and could build momentum off of that. And this is going to be a close game. I said it's one thing to beat a team once. Sentinels do match up against Chinese teams well.
Everyone can
they beat 3 of them at Masters Toronto, but going up against XLG on these same maps again, there's a lot of prep work to do.
Speedo Panchito with the 5 gifted.
Try and figure this out.
Mucho gracias, mi amigo, mi amor, chupa mi culo. Thank you.
Now XLG are getting warmed up.
Scary look for Sentinels. Given we'd had fairly low expectations for She-Like Gaming, considering how they went up against DRX. But now, overnight, starting to land on something that really works for XLG. And look, despite the double duelist here, you do have Happyway on the Viper, who will be your
anyone looking to
still has his controller there.
Start a Snapchat streak. Go for 5 years in a row.
There's very different vibes from both these teams. Like XLG have a lot of good vibes. They're yapping. They're loud behind me. Sentinels trying to be as meticulous, play some clean Valorant, and stay locked in. They know the job's not done, and it's the power that leads the way for Havoya and the boom bot that could have marked someone close. Now you got an Odin. As Zelsus tries to read where this push is, XLG now playing chicken against bullets, and that's a deadly game. And Havoya will still put the red carpet down, but there is a pivot of the spike going towards B.
Oh no!
Of Sentinels.
No!
The push from Happyway was unexpected. It caught Sentinels watching that B-Link door off.
Wait a fucking minute. It's actually worrisome.
But now it's just pivots back and forth.
They can rotate now. Havoya's got full control over towards A. He's winning his duels over there. You already start to see Coconut pivoting. It might just be Happyway chilling over towards B to keep things interesting. Finally, the decision going to be made. B is looking a little bit safer. Coconut will eventually place here. But still, though,
look at Raze.
The big flank, Havoya can get a lot. They can still see that Sentinels are very considerate.
Zelsus is timing Raze, but Raze is flanking Viper.
It's
actually bad for us, probably. Because Omen's aware still.
And they focus on that A-Link door.
Oh, he's not facing.
Oh, what?
This is important. Both
How has this worked out that way?
And it's Happyway that has to shut
it
down.
It didn't work out that way at all.
Cutie's been dealt with, and it's just up to Zelsus, who's going to have to get rid of this Odin. He does, and maybe just wants to save the Vandal, but a 1v2 is certainly possible for a guy like him.
Oh, what are we doing out there, bro? We look bad.
XLG will tie.
Needed to be able to arc roast through there to be able to flash in if
Trent
possible, but 2 players too
game?
strong.
Oh,
Havoya
fuck,
again getting work done. I mean, this coach has really been stepping through. It's Hathaway on the top of the leaderboard. And XLG even things up 8-8 after losing Pistol and Anti-Eco. That flawless has now given them another gun round win.
Playing like an actual AI. I know.
Not delivering as much as they would have liked to.
It's okay. I think we can still win because Zekin's top fragging and he might be able to take us home right now.
on, I believe, was John QT.
A wild thing to
on the
say.
top side of the map, but still paint shells into a free kill. Means numbers in advantage for XLG. So we start to look towards the potential Reviva ultimate. Raga, yeah, he'll get his own ult off that kill.
Yeah, his story has been put to an end.
Okay.
For now, XLG.
Yoru needs to be nerfed. Who else needs to be nerfed right now? Yoru.
The gap that was left behind, and you got a 3-man
Neon
from Sentinels towards a lobby, taking advantage. The one that has to hold us back is Raga. Meanwhile, the rest of XLG will get the objective done.
And that's it. If we nerf Yoru and Neon, I'm happy.
Just have pistols and this stinger from Bang. Gotta hope it does exactly that, but they're just not going to be running into Raga until they clear through B. They're maybe going to go through that B-link door instead. That's all about timing between
that needs a roster change
and the other two joining him very soon. But the spike is ticking. Now, the orb out of the way. Zelsis hopes to make contact soon. It's taking way too long for Sentinels to rotate.
We have good players. We're just...
I end up just playing for exits.
This team is Heretics, bro. Good players. What the fuck's happening, though?
Hard to flank anyway.
Does Heretics need a roster change?
All the way through attacker spawn. Raga's got that one cut off, and it'll just be a little bit of exploration from Zels to see what he finds. We'll find a shot from Coconut, a little bit of assistance here from Happy Way as well, as the round will end, and a couple players will walk into these last remaining members of Sentinels, and there'll be at least one gun. Bang should be the walk away with this one easily.
Going down with it, and the Vandal is always nice. A 3-round win streak from XLG, block by block. The comeback begins from a 2-6 deficit in favor, of course, Sentinels. XLG in the lead. And this is the power of the double duelists, especially Havoya, who is finally now at an equal KD after having a quieter Lotus at the beginning. Has really stepped up.
He stepped up big. You started to see from round 9 onwards, there's been a lot of Havoya in the kill feed. Of course, everyone in XLG was kind of having a hard game. And those 6 rounds in a row that Sentinels got in the first half, and XLG speeding things up over towards the A side of things now. It could just be showing presence as they're waiting to see what Happy Way can get done over.
They have a lot of ults, bro. This is scary. They have a lot of ults.
Just kind of abandoning over on A and
like coming up as well.
Happy Way instead.
Cover going
There's a B split.
Who's next?
Drifting.
Dimensional drift, yeah. As now it's XLG, just good protocols, clearing the box with the Prowler, now converging into B, and it's Happy Way through B main. You had the paranoia from Sentinels coming through the tree, and XLG are just sandwiched, and it's quite painful, and they have to pick a side to push through. XLG have their attention split, but it's about winning these individual duels if they can, and this time XLG have decided to go towards A. Getting the right read, they could outnumber Bang, and it'll be up to him now that the smoke dissipates. But not getting pushed quite yet. It's allowed Sentinels to push out of B. XLG have taken too long to decide where to go.
That's a big kill by Huya. He has Raze ult.
Get on top of A as well. Just got to check through.
We have Vice ult though.
And then should be the plant.
He's gonna Raze ult when we Vice ult. That's what's gonna happen probably.
On Sentinels is good. Steel Garden. That'll be the guns gone. Showstopper though. Havoya needs to show up here.
Great Steel Garden.
Havoya
with a showstopper and just
I thought he would.
Unfortunate timing.
His teammate died too though.
Just sandwiched at multiple moments.
Okay, nice round by us. They use a lot of ults. They use Yoru ults.
Sentinels bring the party to them. And it's just such a
Actually, that's all they use.
The now will be tied 9-9.
There's a big kill from Zekin from mid.
That's all they use,
all the way
really.
Up to Baby Door. They started to whittle the numbers down from XLG. You could tell they wanted to lean over towards A.
They have 4 ults.
But just showing some presence on B, pulled rotators on towards B.
They use so many ults. I don't know, I felt like they use a lot of ults, but no, it's just the one.
XLG really
just Vice ults and Euro ult that round. We use Vice.
Goes down to the opportunity. Opened
this
up
is big by Narrate.
for XLG to walk on in, but also this
nice
mid-play as well. Dimensional drift coming on through, which largely was a bit of a fake, although they could still pivot the smoke.
NRG is insane right now. They are. NRG is honeymooning.
Main over towards B.
NRG is honeymooning.
Raga was good for one there. Good setup. Also coming through Coconut on the Paranoia, but didn't get too much more after that.
I want to see XLG be able to
tempo. You look tired. Are you good?
In those crucial moments.
No, I'm not good, bro.
Learning exactly that when you send Havoya satcheling into Rebel, kind of trying to sell the fake.
Double
you can do
mount?
That double duelist, and you can play solo on that side and play off the showstopper. Hey,
oh my God.
For Sentinels to get the
how did that work out so well for the Yoru?
With, of course, Narrate able to fire back with his own Nightfall here.
That's a big fatal.
XLG now hesitate whether to go in. The Prowler is going to bite down on Happy Way,
on the lurker.
At least he has a smoke to play off of, but it's not going to be a good spot.
What?
With the Vulnerable and the Decay.
Where?
XLG just seems to shoot better, and Sentinels just have John Cutie while Zelsis is still rotating from A. Really good clutch out of XLG.
Man, that was a really curious round coming on through. The initial Nightfall being ripped open from Viva. Very low chance was going to catch anybody, hoping maybe somebody on site, but bang.
Is he going to Viper ults if he gets bomb down?
Away from that one, so kind of weird from Viva. They were hoping to be able to catch.
It would be good if he maybe just Viper ults a waterfall.
Counter Nightfall comes on through and doesn't deliver enough for Sentinels at all.
And I think you could just pit here to try and get this plant safer, and they're just baiting out these shots from Sentinels.
1v2.
And now the pit will go down to protect this. How Sentinels can approach this is going around the perimeter. Both of XLG tried to stay within, but Viva caught on the outside to prevent the retake from Sentinels. And now going for both angles. Happyway caught between a rock and a hard place, and it's John Cutie.
Good job, John. Holy fuck.
That'll get it in the end with the defuse.
Oh my god, what a nerve-wracking match.
It's a close game, though. It's been very tight so far, coming down to minimal numbers alive. Sentinels, first
two ults from them? Here. Yeah. Lose Fade ult as well.
That round, again, looking like it was going to go really poorly for Sentinels after the Nightfall.
Wait, no, they only use
it's the Sentinels members at the back of C. You see the couple of blue X's in the top right corner of the C site going down as the guns get traded. Odin now once again online for the Sentinel
working
side.
out for us a little bit.
Kind of damage being done, but this is the opening play here. Raga 1-for-1, and then massive double TP away. And comes down to Viper's pet.
How the fuck did you get that?
A bit of Happyway as we head into number 20
Yeah, Sunset is definitely a comfortable map for us. This is the big one though. This map is the one we need to like. Wait, Coconut's low.
20 HP. Just a ton of spam damage on his face.
Nice.
It's just easy for a second with the lock-in, and there's not going to be a punish.
Zach loves these fights on the choke.
The back-to-back rounds where they're able to converge from multiple angles and have the time to rotate and surround XLG.
Definitely not going to use it here.
XLG, they'll find themselves behind a duelist, but Havoya could lead that with just a showstopper.
I like how he's moving. I like how he's moving.
It's a little bit awkward to try and go through all these angles, all these corners, hoping to still get that ult off.
Uh-oh.
See if Viva gets interested a little bit further on to test the smoke
wall.
Wall
Up?
Or test out the door as well.
Oh, it took a little long to go up, man. Wait, that wall took too long to go up. This guy lurked through. Do we know?
He's going to be able to walk
we should know. We should know. We should know.
One
know.
versus one. Does he check the right corner?
Good,
no.
good. Good
not going to be able to get John Cutie down in time.
Coconut's low.
Still
like, is there any?
Oh. Seeing if they can have any advantages.
That just gave him a small chance. They're walking into C now. Show me Omen. Show me Omen.
At least 2 defenders getting a win over at A.
Oh my god, bro. This fucking guy's trolling us, right?
Any more time. It's up.
Why are we not watching the Omen? 2 guys are walking into the
Even
solo
though Bang
site.
had a high ground, a nice angle. Gotta respect Happyway. We'll back away, and Viva has full util to help keep this site for XLG.
It's just too many members down from XLG.
You're guaranteed to see an engagement if you're on the Omen.
That's all that XLG have for the time being. They will get the plant down, but 4 versus 2.
We have Rocket for the retake. Should we use it here?
There as well. Really not expecting Happyway and Viva to get it done. It's not planted offside either, so.
Ooh.
Second as a showstopper, this is how you break in off the paranoia. Say goodbye to Viva.
Happyway 1v3.
And it's Sentinels in a 3 versus 1. Now it's hide and seek, and it's deadly
the spoilers,
for Happyway.
But we'll take it.
And Sentinels start to create that gap.
Starting to swing back in momentum that we found in that first half as XLG.
Think NRG can win champs or EWC?
Lay it down, peeled away.
I mean,
only Viva
anyone can win anything, truthfully, brother.
Leave pressure onto the A side, and the
That's
rest
the
of
truth.
XLG falling one by
Will
one.
they?
Really unfortunate time for Havoya there. Check the wrong
it's
angle.
Not likely, but anyone can win.
One. For Havoya, would have been in a nasty angle. 4 Sentinels to deal with if he won that 1 versus 1. It'll take a bit of time here for Havoya to have a chat with his team. Well, really, I mean, he's in the team as well. They'll all have a bit of a group chat as he's coaching and playing, but also the assistant coach behind the scenes dropping him some words as this is getting tight enough that XLG can still get the opportunity to swing this into a map win, but 11 on board for Sentinels means that window is closing fast.
And this is XLG's map pick, and then you're going into Sunset, which is one of Sentinel's best maps. This timeout has to provide the solution, the key
daily
to
reminder
to XLG, because it's going to hurt more losing when it's
work
been
to live,
this close, this neck and neck.
Not live to work.
You got to respect the XLG comeback from, like I said, starting off this
pick up
game
what I'm putting down or not.
At a 2-6 deficit to the duelist really providing the firepower, the crucial frags that XLG have needed on this offense. So now Sentinels starting to run away and get close to that finish line.
As a reminder as well, in the rematch, the previous time that we did see these two teams play in Masters,
this is a serious comment, man.
In Sentinel's favor. Most of those rounds won on the defensive side, 8 and 4 in Sentinel's favor. And that's exactly the side they're on currently.
Now it's Savoya's turn to be explosive with the showstopper, but he's not someone who likes to be hyper-aggressive, very explosive. He's mainly initiator after all, and he has
my unemployed friend posts on a Tuesday afternoon.
To keep, of course, Zekin busy at B. With the pit at C, XLG are having their options limited. You got your lurk shut down at A, so XLG are not having a good start to this round.
It's typically been Viva on that side of the map, being the late lurk. This time around, be happy wait. Viva has had some success over there in previous rounds, including the last one, but Seas will slow things down considerably. Pretty confident this is not going to end over towards C. In fact, you could even see the potential for Zelsis to fall off this side as well.
2 Prowlers, 2 from Neri.
Do something you love and then find the way to get paid for it.
Also true. Also true. Down with an Odin. And do some critical damage to XLG, just really dwindling their chances already for this round. Sentinels,
if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Nobody at B.
With that being said, Broza.
Two-stack with the pit at C. So it is a pivot, a great read from XLG, realizing this site is open. There will be a flash, though, placed by Zelsis once Sentinels do want to fight for this.
Good structure to be able to still pull through the showstopper despite no one being there. Need to make sure that it is clean. You have lost rounds from there before. It's Viva up first, though. Needs to have shots ready to go. Does he know there's 2 players, though? He knows he's definitely one.
Just needing to buy time, play
your life. It's a big fight on door.
If you're XLG.
Sees?
Start off getting first blooded. Now it's about protecting the objective, and you have Coconut.
Nice
through B main. He's about to meet where this Viper is going to push from, but John
good reset,
better.
guys.
Neri's Odin screams louder than XLG, and it's Sentinels on match point.
Yeah, map point being found for Sentinels here in this BO3. And Coconut activating so late, hiding in smoke, doesn't even realize until too late. As his team falls apart around him, John Cutie walks past. I'm sure that eventually the footsteps were heard by Coconut, but yeah, he needed to be able to come and get that kill, instantly assist if possible, but the rest of the members
rosters locked, like what's the point? What's the point of anything?
All angles on that
Sorry, that got dark.
As I mentioned,
I agree. I don't know what happened with the roster lock.
Stronger for Sentinels in that previous Lotus between these 2 teams in Masters. And now as we head into the potential final round here, Zekin on the op, Odin being brought up by Narrate, did huge damage to Coconut on a previous round. Just on the spam.
Zekin with an op too, he's not gonna get any juicy prey, not yet. It's XLG, not the best buy, but a Nightfall. That could be good. It is good. But no, Neri just spams through, blinded. What is Roger looking at? Trusted his teammate.
That's the Neri I know.
And XLG fumbled despite such a good ultimate. Neri just wills this win into existence. And it's Havoya left for XLG, now buried 6 feet under. 13-9 for Sentinels. They do it again.
What a huge round coming through from Narrate. I mean, how does XLG not even see him? They have the Nightfall there. They should have had the info off the Nightfall.
Chef's kiss,
but also,
really.
you lost a member to this Odin. Straight on entry through
Fantastic.
the tree. And 2 more members.
Ecstatic is what I am.
That is a little sloppy.
Admin, can you fix my PC, please?
And we looked at Sentinels coming in strong for this map. First half, mostly under control. Started to lose a bit of the momentum in the final 4 rounds the first half, but then on the defensive side, a couple of rounds going XLG, but largely it's all Sentinels all day, particularly in the final few rounds.
We actually might only be able to beat China. But China is the #2 region in the world.
You through all of the action here on Sunset.
I'm stoked. Rarga versus Zekin. All on this map to see if XLG live on in this group. And
when did Sadak join KC? It's probably been close to a year now, right?
No changes for Sentinels compared to when they last played for XLG. Of course, having Havoya in, he'll be playing the Deadlock. A breach coming through. That was
cut the music, bro. This is not a fucking MMO.
On a Neon, expecting a lot more.
Cut the music, bro.
Second up first. The second down
and
first.
He's down first. Yeah, what the heck? XLG, just great retaliation
what is
from
happening?
Viva and Market, and he continues to slap
this live?
Sentinels.
This is live for sure.
His way. Well, Sentinels will use that distraction.
This can't be live.
Their fellow
this is a
teammates
pregame?
to get the spike down, but that's all they're going to get this round. Another
XLG
pistol to kick off a map.
Happy about Happy Way coming in large and in charge for opening round here. Pistol, once more, as mentioned. Split the pistols 1-on-1 on the previous map. A little bit of deciding on who's going to.
Oh my God! They got the PGO audio guy. Cut the fucking music. I can't hear my thoughts.
Into a potential early neural theft here, but we start out with Zekken down early.
I feel like I'm playing World of Warcraft right now, dude.
Gone. XLG start to take control.
What a start from Happy Way. He's just had an incredible EWC, like not just kind of like, okay, is the one BO1 map where he really popped off and carried.
I know, Sentinels have lost.
Day two, so important.
They won 1 out of 5 pistols.
Maybe holding solo,
we have won 1 out of 5
pistols.
pistols.
Market. They can play off of that information a lot better because XLG didn't play a Sentinel on Lotus, and you see how this is already so much better.
It's a double Senti as well. I mean, we've obviously seen some of these deadlocks come through as a solo Sentinel, which is a little bit rough. You're kind of missing out on being able to have a Cypher on board with the extra cams, but it should be a good defensive half for XLG, given it's Cypher and Deadlock together. And Deadlock would be a 2 week on her own.
It's kind of a lot on Coconut to be the one that really blinds and limits this duelist. And the barrier was insane from Havoya, limiting the exit of Sentinels.
I don't know. This music's gotta go, man.
Sentinels are doing exactly
I can't watch like
what
this.
their role is. And Sentinels, as soon as they get into position,
it's not me, dude. Look.
But haven't been able to develop to that point. XLG's proactivity has been huge, and so has Havoya.
Well, just one more to come through here. Foya can get another kill here to end things out with. He will, baiting his teammate Raga, of course, who was going to allow Havoya to get one to accelerate this annihilation early. And you just have so many counters for Neon. This could potentially be a rough game for Zek, and you have sensors you could walk into. You have trap wires, of course, always going to be the hard counter to Neon in various cases. And then the fact that that particular round, throwing the barrier mesh down, Zekken got caught in the middle, had no exit available, and so dead to rights entirely. Unfortunate first death twice.
I feel like I'm in the main town of World of Warcraft. You mean Azeroth?
Shop yet, except for Zelstis in those first 2 rounds.
I don't even know the names of the towns.
You hear that?
Azeroth?
Pow, pow, pow from XLG. Like, yeah, that's kind of what happened.
They're definitely getting, well, they're getting excited. They're
getting
off to a good start.
Oh, it's back.
Sentinels is
there we go.
Ready for it. They react. They bite back.
Viva la vida, Coldplay. Long live life.
Buys this round for Sentinels, and it's Neri that has to think of a plan.
Solid from Viva. Also in the previous map as well. I'll bring that momentum through, but already looking in dire straits for Sentinel's first gun round. Not looking too pretty here. Viva collecting a bit of an upgrade.
Jump it. You want pussy?
Good news here is Raga doesn't have the one shot. In fact, he is
it worked.
Here.
Shoot my trip from far away.
And the rest of Sentinels.
It worked perfectly. But the Cypher's here.
Coming. Sentinels 2 versus 2.
He has
Viva
a
on his
Spectre.
last leg, and to stop this, a good surprise
Traded.
from Happy Way.
Both players are low. He's also 1v1 chill.
Viva has to make his way to A, and Sentinels will know exactly where his last location was.
Check
and
him.
The tripwire will reveal
Check him.
Viva.
Check it again. Check it again. Sorry, I called it early. Please check it again. I'm begging you, bro.
Just a hot minute.
Please.
And Viva has no clue. At least the regen shield allows him to get back onto a little bit more HP, but I don't think it's going to be
Jordan
enough.
wins these? He's in a pretty good way.
He knows exactly what this is going to come through. You'd imagine
this
round is entirely over.
Oh, nice. I don't know who died. The spoilers are confusing me.
Too many angles to check. Nothing off that recon, and Zelsis just doing his due diligence on the post plan. That earns him a neural theft going forward. And Sentinels have already adapted so quickly to the XLG setup that has stopped Sentinels at A before.
Yeah, well, this time, you know, the quick walk up.
Was he telling us that his barber's fucked up, so he said shave it all off? I'm pretty sure that's what happened, right? Or was that Cortesia's mustache?
Giving more numbers for Sentinels, but really it was the 3v2 that turned into a 2v2.
Too, though.
The rotation onto
but Cortesia had the same thing with his mustache. Cortesia showed up without his mustache because the guy misunderstood and then he shaved it all off. Both of them had misunderstandings with their fucking barber.
After he got
but
caught by
Fortizia, I understand. Maybe they got lost in communication. Zelsa's been going to the same barber for 20 years. How the fuck did he fuck up your haircut again?
Very critical to know that Coconut is on this side of the map. It's going to be
nice.
The biggest threat to the duelist on the Sentinel side. As long as Sentinels swing together, it's to be a much cleaner round. But a neural theft nonetheless from Zelsa.
Well, my barber doesn't even cut hair full time, so it's not the same for me. I don't get mad when he fucks my shit up. I understand, dude.
Retake feels a lot better considering Raga also doesn't have another gun to use. Op on the retake is going to be a little bit rough here. Happyway also one away from neural theft.
John said go for the middle peak, and Zelsa heard Widow peak.
On positioning here, Raga's up against 2, and he might get traded even if he does get a kill.
Raga could do it. Oh wait, he slipped by, and John Cutie
thinks he's fucking what, Guardian?
And we're tied 2-2.
Calm down, buddy. Calm down.
To scope in as well. He's really hoping the relay belt was going to get
my barber comes to my house.
Shot in, but just too hard to get that retake from the position of Raga needed.
I've gone to my friends for their barbers at their house. I haven't brought my barber to my house yet, but he's told me he can do it because I've asked him.
If Coconut was able to get a single more there, stay alive, delay a bit longer.
Admin's like, I know you're. I got it.
Could have been a different game there as Havoya and Vive were able to get themselves the 1 each, and Havoya now a couple times in a row, not scared to play aggressively and dry peeking into that choke. However, couple rounds now as well, 2 in a row that he has been taken out early.
Is it my barber, Leslie? No, that was my old barber.
Game plan's been pretty solid from Sentinels. Just heading into A first. Things go awry. You end up at B. And just now knowing that Coconut's on that left A link area. You know that duelist from Sentinels has just been very careful on how much he wants to commit and whether he wants to immediately do that. Using the speed to the full advantage. And Raga did what he could. He had that great initial shot with the op.
How have I been?
Like you kind of pointed out
haven't been to the gym in 3 weeks. My sleep schedule is from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. I watch party 10 hours a day. And
let's talk about the fact that the last time they met, 13-6 was loaded.
I had a salad for dinner tonight. That was good.
Sunset. Zekin went absolutely large. This was back when Sheila obviously still had midi. They were playing more of a breach look. Kind of the same comp as we're seeing here, just with the Sova on Viva instead of the Fade.
I also had a cookie after I had the salad, though, so it kind of canceled out.
Otherwise, this time playing the double Senti for XLG instead, which so far, of course, they
coconut
should be getting a lot more done.
Yeah, it's fucking
in these
coconut
early defensive
cookies.
rounds, or just on the entire defensive side. But when you look back at previous results, it was 8 and 4 in the opening attacking half for Sentinels, and then 5 in a row in the defense for Sentinels to really clean through with a 27-10 finish for Zekin.
What happened with my electricity yesterday? I don't know, dude. They took me out.
In that particular map.
Oatmeal raisin is fire.
To keep punishing
is that
XLG,
hated upon?
Is
oatmeal raisin generally not liked? I think oatmeal raisin is really good. But I also think Raisin Bran cereal is really good. I like raisins.
Still not enough to deter Sentinels until XLG cook up a better combo. And I think paired up with the Paranoia, if that just syncs up even better for XLG. Kind of saw Sentinels not all swing together. There's moments
molasses
where you
cookies,
can
never had that.
Catch Sentinels staggering.
Am I 79 years old?
Back and forth A approach.
It's also really tough for
What's an old person food?
To be able to get rid of some of this utility at range.
What's an old person food? Because there's old person cookies apparently.
Which is very good, very acceptable, but lacking the shock darts to be able to get the easy clears on trips and
porridge,
Sonics and all that kind of
stuff.
None
of that stuff is good.
It will cause a few more additional
headaches. What's an old person food that's good?
Harder as well to be able to follow up on things like you want John Cutie on this bridge to flash you through, fault line you through into certain plays, but then you run into a piece of utility from one of the Sentinels and things just get a little bit rough in terms of timing, particularly if you're Zek and you really want to get those fast entries. We already saw him being punished earlier on. That will continue in this series unless Sentinels can sort of find a way to work their way across utility. If they get these early kills at Voya, that's one way to shut it down. But at some point, I expect
I have a chicken pasta salad in the fridge. I prepared for this moment.
Live a little bit longer in these rounds to make sure he has more to play through.
Yeah, because if you let Sentinels get close to the site, John Cutie's going to explode in with all the breach util, so XLG have to either play forward and prevent that take or out of the sight and out of mind. Because it's not even just the fault lines and the flashes, it's Narrate as well, who's one away from the Nightfall. So fighting for that A orb is going to be quite important.
Snappy aim. Bang.
Ultimate's online, this time for XLG. Still a couple short on the side of Sentinels. 1 kill required for Narrate. Or mid control to come on through. A lot of melee trading over towards A main. Not going to be the case this particular rounds. And the Prowler to just take a look that Havoya is not to be seen. In fact, a lot of Havoya's utility hasn't even been deployed yet. He's waiting.
Nice.
Oh, Coconut, come on! You had the heads up.
Caster bias?
You're all up there like a Coconut. You just couldn't get that first blood, but it is just
Instead, he got cracked open.
Yeah, he got cracked for sure.
All right, guys, let's focus on the game here.
XLG on Sheriffs, that would have been the one surprise, something to get a rifle. I mean, I'm just hard coping at this point.
Happy way,
that is nice. Neural Theft being invested too. XLG believe. I don't know if the rest of us do, because Narrate is pulling out shots like that to put the ball back into Sentinel's court. And Voy is blinded.
Nice.
Right there.
Or somebody was blinded.
The Observer has no idea. I'm convinced the Observer does not play Valorant.
No matter which way you slice it,
and they're just trying to put the people on the radar
so far, but
and pick.
Isn't going to be the walkthrough at all. Bang, shut him down. He had the first. He'll take the last as well here. Bringing through 2 rifles, but I mean, yeah.
Hey, Tarik, are you familiar with the grapefruit technique?
It was a decent round for XLG despite losing, but Sentinel's now starting to build a pretty good lead.
And Havoya had a real chance in the 1 versus 2 because he picked up a rifle from mid, so still.
He would need to play the Annihilation too, I think. And then maybe,
yeah.
Yeah, we're coming up with, hindsight 2020, but
freaky ass motherfucker.
For Sentinels
during a Valorant match at 3 a.m. It's probably fucking 6 a.m. where you're at too.
Sentinels have been pivoting back and forth. You could have that Omen be part of that with Bang, so now some mid patrolling.
Also in the right, got a couple of kills over on the.
What do you do when someone asks you something you don't know? You search it. I searched it.
Let's look over towards market one more time. This
reminds me of when they told me to fucking look at R34 Valorant.
To control this break trip into
fucking fell out of my fucking chair.
Don't want that smoke.
Wait,
the Annihilation will still be grabbed by that Annihilation, and Zelsis will have to avenge him. As now the spawn is open, and XLG get hit by a Nightfall. So this is the problems that Happy Way is facing, and he won't have to worry about them anymore. Coconut and Viva have to also re-clear through their own spawn.
Look at Cypher.
No idea
Cypher, Observer!
About, so saving
your
weapons, including that up.
Well, that's the thing, right? They brought the op in. Raga played a glass cannon op that will be recovered
by Viva now. Do I like
Pretzels?
Not answering these questions because I don't know what you guys are onto anymore. Agenda of the chat is questionable.
They're going to go for this one. If they take away the
How many ceilings have you touched in your life? You see what I'm talking about? Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Losing these guns in
How many ceilings have I touched in my life?
Zekin being the only death here that was due to the Annihilation from Havoya. Everything else going very wrong for XLG.
I don't know, you're going to be able to keep these rifles, XLG. Coconut has to be locked. Here's the swing. Beautiful setup from John Cutie. And now you're just watching your own win, and the hop is dropped.
Don't get me mad, bro.
Sentinels are rich enough, so who cares?
Zelsis will drop the selfie cam there just for
Tarik, I don't know what to do. I keep letting my ex disrespect me and get away with it. Sounds like you answered your own question, no?
Oh, nearly a hero rifle onto Havoya.
Me saying no there is so ironic.
A little bit later on, but yeah, this is the one kill that came through posthumously as well via Annihilation, but then of course the ending that we saw. But yeah, a large number of kills that happened in the middle of the round after Zekin trades himself with Havoya that kind of goes awry for them, and it's not going to end up being the full purchase.
Guys, if you want to get back at your ex,
he's only got 500 credits left, so it's like he's essentially spent most of his bank
treated you wrong,
hoping to get something done on the Guardian.
Or he's treated you wrong, just sleep with their dad or mom, and that's it, dude.
But this is too forward from Viva.
Wow.
Just the swing is so good from XLG. Viva, he lives and he kills. And Zelsis just catching Coconut on a bit of a hot skip and a jump and a clean round out of XLG.
Oh, Viva came out of nowhere. That was incredible stuff. Didn't even really have what was that, a Bulldog as well? That is an extremely good one for XLG and a momentum stopper for Sentinels, and don't XLG need it. You wouldn't want from the XLG POV to see another 6 in a row from Sentinels in the opening half, and XLG shut it down early to keep this one nice and tight. One round.
If I was not a streamer, what would I be doing? I will be in the chat asking the same question you're asking.
Aggression on A. Couple times it hasn't worked out, but when it has worked out, it's led to big round wins that will now swing things back momentum-wise potentially for XLG.
We just reverse swap the roles, dude.
It looks like this Hunter's Fury could just be used for the retake after all, especially when you have John Cutie or reading he has a Rolling Thunder. Sentinels can get any site they want.
Not answering that.
And off the camera info, that
can't tell you guys where I'm hanging out after hours.
Confident trying to push into Coconut, into Market. The last time they've read that he was there, but it's a different setup from XLG. You got the teleport from Bang to come assist, and the spike is down. The Hunter's Fury cuts Sentinels at the heel. And it's now Bang that has to lurk around after the ult, and he gets a surprise, but not enough manpower.
Good job, Observer.
Sentinels to muscle that round.
Good looking flick coming through from Bang, but it's not going to be able to save himself from the secondary player from XLG. 2 in a row, complete market control. Sentinels want to get a lot more work done, but just quite couldn't get that through. And now as we look towards Sentinels' timeout, we're still seeing potential buy-ups here, just barely enough money on a couple of players.
Can you help me with this, Tarik? Given the increasing convergence of digital asset markets and competitive esports ecosystems, how do you think the fluctuating macroeconomic indicators like inflation or interest rates might impact organizational spending on Tier 1 talent acquisition across franchises like Valorant and CS, especially in regions where local currencies are depreciating against the dollar?
Yeah, it's a little annoying that they're consistently having to come in with new members.
I mean, do you need me to put that in ChatGPT for you?
3 players in this one initiator spot, moving from YOU
I'm not gonna do it for
to
you,
Nomad
bro.
to Hivoya, the coach. Consistent inconsistency, you could say, in terms of that position. However, it's led to this event being
I wonder if ChatGPT is the
good look for XLG, but can it
worst
be good enough
nightmare
to,
to like a fucking professor or teacher. I know we had like Spark Notes and shit like back then, but like now it's like too advanced.
Simplified from Sentinels, just having the Rolling Thunder, have your Neon.
But there's probably like AI that catches the fucking AI, but it's just AI war at that point, right?
Was really tough, and what a beautiful Hunter's Fury. Viva having such a good
impact. It's the worst nightmare for the students? Why for the students?
Wins for XLG off of his effort.
You're just trying to get your degree and get out. Most of you guys are not learning shit.
Neural theft. Surely this is the round for Sentinels.
Some low armors though. 125 across the board. John QT, Bulldog in hand. No early aggression this time from XLG. Could be another market play for Sentinels.
Don't they say like the best thing you're gonna get from going to university is the friends you've made, the networking? Or they also say like all you're doing is just learning how to learn. Because when you go to your job, it's probably not gonna be applicable. You're gonna fucking just have to learn whatever the fuck you do when you get there. This Happy Way guys is fucking shrieking. 3v2.
No Celsius, he takes advantage and evens up the odds as best as he can. Sentinels back in the driver's seat after the effort from that Sentinel from XLG.
How many jobs have I had?
It's up to Rorga,
CLG,
I think maybe just keeping the op would be
Optic,
better.
Cloud9, NRG, EG, MIBR, Sentinels, 7.
Eventually you're going to have to play into some of this John QT utility. Haunts back on a line. Fault line is there again. Most importantly, though, it is looking over towards that ultimate. Swapping over towards the weapon. This is so doable for Rorga.
Oh, the Rolling Thunder's invested, and Rorga not able to clutch this one up, especially how important that weapon was. Of course, they're able to buy up again, but that was a big risk for Rorga to take, and it's so tough to push into that when you have the 2 corners to get through. The wall was a great isolation. But a better Rolling Thunder out of Sentinels.
I'll trade an operator for an old Rolling Thunder. That is far easier for you to get an op back than it is for the Rolling Thunder to come through. Taking that item off board.
And then Twitch, so it's 8.
Sentinels.
It's 8.
It's a good trade for Rorga. Would have been even better if he got the kill, but Overdrive he saved as well. So yeah, he had the opportunity to trade his operator for a rifle. And now Rorga wants to get something done over towards B main.
I'm looking at the overdrive from Zekin. Of course, the drone.
This game is not free at all, man.
Sentinels do just like to kick off their rounds over at A main. But XLG,
am I watching? I'm watching. I'm not incredibly locked in, but I'm watching though. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna flame the Observer, but I won't do it. I don't know. I can't blame them. It's my own fault. I'm not watching closely enough.
We did at least see a couple members push down B. That's where the Baron Mesh is going to be deployed.
Looks like a B split. What do we got for ults?
40 seconds pass
Not
on
shit,
through.
really.
Baron Mesh will fade away. Full mid control for Sentinels so far. They've had success over in towards market. Just a sonic sensor there. Prowler's going to get past and check everything out, but no members here to defend.
I'm out of here. Sonic sensor at B is going to make things sketchy for Zekin if he crosses that path, especially when you have to try and get to that high ground, and there's a Sonic sensor stun, the swing out of Hivoya.
Nice.
The support is better out of the Sentinels to back up their duelist. And it's Coconut from the top rope, now being obscured. They'll have to take a market approach if XLG hope to retake this. And they'll leave Coconut to wait for that cage to expire.
You have members playing offsite here as well, which is going to be very difficult for XLG to be able to navigate. Multiple angles here. At least if you come through Boba for one member on Coconut, could be interesting. But no paranoia. It's already been spent now. But can they react in time to get these kills?
You don't even have time to use the nerve.
How is he doing that? Guys! What the fuck? How did he get up there for free?
And XLG will tie.
Damn,
just like Pilsky said earlier on, it's been Happy Way's day in his tournament so far. When XLG look like they are in a struggling position, Happy Way delivers. Losing yesterday to DRX as ISO at least was able to get something done. Now today on the Sentinel,
Second was watching Spawn.
Happy Way leading the way. Giving all the smiles across the face for XLG to bring this one again to a tied-up 5-5, forcing bad economy now on the Sentinel side. That could have gone so poorly, but
I was thinking for 100 C's versus EDG, yeah.
Neural Theft
today is way more chill.
But he didn't even get the info. He just swings before the Neural Theft comes through, and he wins these duels.
It's been a big conversation about the impact of these Sentinels. Happy Way and Zealous is providing so much, whether on the defense or the post plane. It's not even been about
a cage to cross top mid
matchup between Zekin and Raga. I believe they're even bottom fragging,
it's a
but all
beast
that
plate.
Matters is how
door,
you pull
CT,
together
and
these
main.
rounds as a team. And it's another set.
Oh, they have a trip for it. They're literally ready for it. Oh, he's faking it. I like the fake. I actually love the fake of this. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I still like the idea.
Sentinels have to wait. Now they swing out. Narrate with the stinger, and now the Nightfall at 5 HP. Just
nice.
XLG in his place, and it sets up the overdrive for Zekin, but Raga knows his place.
Fuck.
And Sentinels 2 versus 2, and one of them with a pistol, open to change that up, and Zekin at the top site wants to get ahead of the game.
Is there a gun for John? There's no guns.
Through the market side, and it's Raga that leads that, loud and proud, around the corner. This is the point to win the round, and it's Viva once again, a strikes to the heart of John Cutie. 1v1, and the better Neon is Raga.
We're not like in our maximum form. We're not in our best
Viva,
form,
who
for
falls.
sure.
Lots of utility still in there. Recon forces action through from Sentinels. And Raga responds. You see him sliding in all the way through mid into market, catching a timing. And it's the relief squad from XLG to come in to save the day, to give them the lead now on Sunset. Final round for Sen to be able to try and close this one out with a minimum 6-6, which is what we got in our opening map.
XLG has a sub.
Still, though, decent damage.
Yeah, but Streets are saying the sub is better than the starter. Streets are into, by the way.
If the objective was to,
so like, we're actually playing a stronger version of XLG here.
Damage, you've done that. Have you taken enough money away? Because there still is enough money for this final round for XLG.
Big round out of Raga. Needed to see him activate and come alive for potentially one of the final times for XLG at EWC, and Coconut could have maybe been hurt at that corner, and Zekin is still caught off guard. Just
the UI is so far ahead. Are you guys seeing that? I saw both of them die like 5 seconds ago.
To keep B as a big of a challenge as possible against the Sentinels.
Here's the info off the Neural Theft. Knowing that A is a little bit compromised is going to be Narrate now. They drop off Zelsis.
Fuck this wall.
To try and sell this fake a little bit further. Havoya not interested in moving out.
I mean, I'll be honest, they have double Sentinel. 5 rounds on attack is not that bad. Like, I think 5 rounds is pretty good.
Full rotation, this will be an A finish. Does Raga
the problem is double Sentinel is also good on attack. Like, they take sight and place deadlock trips and shit. It's fucking annoying.
Surely that's footsteps heard. Has to be, surely.
Yeah, you can prowler through that corner box, so Havoya has a lot. Maybe could even throw this Annihilation preemptively, and he claims the breach, and there...
Wow! That's a coach my fucking ass, dude. This guy's fucking hacking.
What a clutch from Havoya to hold it down.
Got a golf clap coming out from me on that one. Just shoots through the Cocoon player to find the one behind. Dirty stuff coming through from Havoya for XLG now to lead 7-5. And well, XLG won the first pistol as well. If they get the second pistol, you're looking at 9-5, and Sentinels a bit struggling on here. We might end up going to Haven, a map that
Sentinels fans be like, you shouldn't be able to shoot through a deadlock ult.
Given that they have banned that one a number of times, and XLG, my goodness, Happy Way once again delivers so huge over on the opposite side of map. Over on B.
Which one is the coach?
I'll tell you what, G2 might not be here, but the Chinese league certainly is.
You see the pressure, Sentinel's really feeling it. They also just seem like a more quiet, locked-in team. At least my impression of them seeing
no half pause
for the first time in person. And XLG,
I'm doing a 60-second here.
Yappers, man.
It's usually like 60
they're
seconds.
Loud, and just every time someone steps up, they're just encouraging each other. And this is a team that could really scale up. But it was Sentinels that closed it out on Lotus after that big back and forth. So XLG have to keep up this level of performance, and it's all going to come down to this pistol.
Wait, what the fuck?
A team that
they're just starting map 3? How are they just starting map 3? Wasn't map 2 ended a while ago?
Russian coach, meaning that they do have to calm in English. It's going to be a lot more difficult to get some information across, particularly in very rough situations when a lot is happening at the same time, which is why sometimes you do see sloppy runs that we did get on Lotus. Double
I don't know how Icebox is just starting for the other series, because they finished so long ago.
Getting past all those issues, 7 and 5 on the second map, and not a terrible opening map on Lotus either, despite that one eventually getting away from them.
Oh yeah,
is the one that
I just realized.
Even just take a look at the team.
Bang is back to the end instead of the middle.
The main one.
It's actually a good observation. I didn't notice that.
Leading the team.
Because Bang sat in the middle for all the season
he might
for
even
us.
just be the IGL of the team. He's basically able to just relay all the coaching information he would have been able to give to the team during tack pauses and between games, all of that, but doing it live in the game.
Just put John in the middle. I mean,
Sentinels
C9 does it as well with Oxy.
Being able to come back.
I think if you have like a player who's more quiet,
major deficit is just
maybe, or I don't know, like if you want more energy to be around that person, it's not bad.
Do so quite quickly before the game gets away.
Because what's the real advantage of having the IGL in the middle? Like, because you can see 2 monitors, but you can also do that in the second seat too.
XLG and get in their heads.
Is it just so he can see the whole team's like face? Like, I don't know. What's the real advantage of having IGL in the middle?
Especially when there's a tech timeout.
These moments are good for.
I don't know if there is like
XLG. I'm not.
I think if you have, I think if you want to like, I think personalities could play into it. Wait, what's happening here?
I'm not able to
what the fuck is happening?
Exactly hear what the comms are and exactly what the tactics are. But very easy, you can see that he's able to just give so much info over, using a bit of time to explain things again in English comms to a Chinese team that would otherwise maybe take a bit more time to
imagine word.exe. Wait, it reminded me of that actually Forsaken moment. Really oh my god. Oh my god, you guys actually do the lines so fast.
Some of those team moments on Lotus was what let them down, but we can see they have the fragging power, we can see they have the talent, we can see that even if you have your coach in, if you can actually perform, that you don't have that normal downside of having a stand-in that's just going to get farmed and that's just going to get run over in a lot of these fights.
What's happening? I don't know. I feel like Zekken has had tech issues all day.
He's adding the
I've seen the admins buy his PC all day. I wonder what's happening.
That maybe the team didn't get enough of in previous showings with previous members in previous tournaments. It's starting to reveal itself into the 7-5 lead, which could definitely progress even further.
I heard it's not even LAN. It's not LAN. They're playing on LAN servers.
Over the past couple of Masters and all the time they spent.
They're playing online servers.
These new additions from last year.
I don't know what the fuck's happening out here.
There's so much
that's
more
crazy.
To
it is crazy because they're partnered with Riot.
It's the aspect outside of it.
I don't know how that's possible.
Mistakes, no matter how stupid
it's not like
they
this,
are, no matter
like, I don't know.
they are.
This stuff makes no sense to me, bro.
And this is a Sentinels team that beat down XLG pretty recently.
I think Zach's getting tilted or no?
And you go into this expecting the same result if you're on that team and you're expecting much more of a challenge in an XLG.
Some players have been having packet loss during the games.
Real good, and it's not even coming.
Yeah, we have no idea. To be honest,
a lot of people when they look at XLG, it's the
don't really know what's going on out there.
Happy Way, a big hero, but everyone now is firing on all cylinders from XLG, including the coach.
It might be a shit show.
So again, previous meeting, 8-4 opening half. Toronto, Sentinels attacking side with 8. Only 4 on the defense for XLG. And this time around, 7-5 going the opposite direction, changing their comp up from double Enid to double Sentinel, with Havoye leading away on the deadlock.
Bro, Misak
also did play Cypher yesterday versus DRX and looked okay on that one. Played Raze in our previous map and honestly performed pretty damn good.
Why is it not on LAN servers? From my understanding, for it to be on LAN, Riot has to like provide special equipment for the organizers. Like they have to bring the Riot LAN servers to the events. Like it's not as simple as just hosting it on LAN. Like Riot has to bring extra equipment and set it up for you. So I'm guessing that wasn't done.
XLG would I mean, they obviously want to go to the third map, although Haven would not be their favorite. They obviously floated it because they feel capable.
But yeah,
but they
packet loss is
Haven
crazy.
Just recently against
if
DRX,
they're getting
which
packet
is a 13-6
loss, that means the internet's shit.
XLG,
I mean, you guys know how I am, dude. If I started getting packet loss, I just wouldn't play. I'd be like, nah, I can't play here.
All types of different comps and things they've especially cooked up for this international. And now you're starting to think about the factor of this tech pause and how it's really iced out the momentum of XLG.
Insane,
here's a fun fact for you as well. In that previous Sunset game, it was Happyway that top frag 18-17 despite losing 6 and 13 in the scoreline. Fun stat line here is also 5-1 in terms of first kills to first deaths in that last showing. So Happyway on that Cypher performed immaculately despite losing on Sunset. And now he's winning Sunset, performing just as well.
This is cooked,
continuing that trend on that Sentinel defensive side, and yeah, he's kind of getting everything. He's getting late kills, winning difficult situations.
We had Lancers at Ludwig Tarik.
In there as well,
yeah,
decent amount
well,
of
that's his Riot partnered with us.
From other members like Havoya that we saw.
They're partnered with these guys too. I don't know why it's not there. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Finding opportunities.
I wonder if you guys can hear the Dota hype coming from the opposite stage. It's been funny to think about just all the different esports and who's been the loudest. And Valorant yesterday, Avril, I was getting jump scared by how much the players were screaming after every round. And it's been cool to just see all the esports kind of be together side by side over at this B stage. I don't know, all the games.
The Dota players said, can the Valorant players pipe down a little bit? It's so loud that it's coming through the Dota comms apparently. So
that's really funny.
The neighbors
now the neighbors
they just want to farm their gold, you know, and they're hearing too much pop off from aces and clutches, and they're getting jump scared. Like, hey, I'm
the
just
Dota players are getting scared of the Valor players
on the other side of the stage.
What?
Well, I know one person that's farming, and that's Viva. I've been really proud of him today. Just stepping up as that Sova. Beautiful Hunter's Fury from the opposite sides of the map to just multi-kills holding down on the A side. Just these underdog players that have stepped up in the biggest moment. Hey, I love to see smiles on the Sentinel side.
Packet loss is really bad, but the problem with packet loss is that it's not an easy fix.
I just call it locked in, but
because it's a routing issue.
The vibes are good despite whatever we're waiting for.
But it's the worst one, dude.
There's a PC issue somewhere that needs to be sorted out.
What's happening with glasses?
Don't think it's Zekin this time, but it is what it is. Last time it was Zekin.
What's happening with the glasses? What's happening right here?
We'll just see where that ends up, but still fun vibes over the XLG side, no matter which way you slice it. They're happy to just vibe for now, having their back and forth chatter.
They're probably laughing at how shit this is right now.
Until we're back into game, at least, unless I just caster curse that one.
I think there's no rights PC down the end there.
Can I caster curse production? Is that a thing?
If that was possible, if that was possible, I'd be curious what extent you could start doing that. That would be a superpower.
I'll work my voodoo magic for sure. Because me and Schiff were cursing yesterday.
The boys are gonna have some stories when they come back home for sure.
Because I don't know if we keep summoning the tech issues.
Well, the admins are sprinting around sweating.
That'd like a superpower.
Admins are tweaking out, dude.
Timu Death Note kind of style going. I was like, no, I can't write somebody's name and cause their demise, but you know, I can just make things annoying with curses. So
if I could spell anybody's names, that would be great. Timu Death Note, what is it? Like your pen doesn't work? Did the pages, the ink bleed?
you just curse things instead of actually having the power over life and death.
Is this name for other events over there too? I have no idea, bro.
Speaking of life and death, we are in the lower bracket, of course.
All right, we're starting. Here we go.
And I think we are getting back into
we're getting back in. Okay.
Map. Okay. Again, 7-5. Pistol, important here. Could be a decent lead being gained by XLG if they clean up the pistol again. Of course, double Senti on the attacking side could be problematic, and if they can start bringing together some rounds, especially in these post plants successfully, XLG would be in a great spot.
See XLG just trying to keep the energy up. You just can't look at the series score. Don't even look at the map score. Just focus on the half. Of course, Cypher trips are going to be the obstacle course that Varga has to get through, but that's the joy of having Viva and just, you know, eyeballs in your head too.
All right, we waited a long time. We're going to start things out.
All right, let's see it.
Stack over
Zealous
towards the B side.
Yeah.
Solo trip to be able to hold off for some time, and the shock will just place that one, leading to a fast lane hit onto B. Nobody's home. This will be a full retake.
I like that
5v5
deep
post.
too to kind of watch for any potential retake. And that'll be all led by Narrate with a Prowler. In which corner he decides to check with, and someone has to swing right in there. And I think a breach for a retake is going to be a lot more solid.
And again,
talking about what the pause was for? No.
Stop this utility from range with no shock darts available.
They have no idea.
So you're just going to have to try to run into some of these. At least there'll be some information on Viva.
Oh boy, you're doing what you can. You get blinded, you get breach utiled, and Sentinels have found their way in. There's a Sonic Sensor, good concuss that Rarga is able to benefit from. And it's a 2 versus 1, all up to Narrate. And he gets the finishing blow on Coconut.
Fuck, that stun fucked us. I don't even know what happened on the front of the site though. Dude, we've won 1 out of 6
Sentinels
pistols,
did a pretty good job there coming through, despite having to run into all this util from the double Sentinels. But the flashes, the stuns are good, instantly working off of those, the breach util coming through. So, despite losing that round, came within very close margins, but it is the pistol going the way of XLG in the hands of Havoya, the last surviving member, led by their coach here, looking across the stage. As it's going to be, do you want a keyboard? Is this a keyboard issue? I can help you out. I got a spare one ready to go. As got a bit more time now, plenty of time, maybe too much time to talk about the fact that this is potentially going to be another anti-eco win. Obviously, we're going to look towards a 9-5, and then suddenly you're looking at a situation where Sentinels are going to start sweating a little bit. They should be looking pretty good on this attack.
I'm not gonna lie, it's been way more tech pauses on the B stream, right?
Double senties could be a little rough, but again, if you can actually get on these sites, it's just really, really rough.
It's rough, but we hope you guys have time to go get a snack, and we're gonna make sure the Sentinels are all okay. And we'll check in with Sen City 2 after this break.
We could feel like how
Here we go. I'm sorry, I'm cutting that off.
In our half, the pistol went XLG's way, so try
A5,
to hold
we're back in it.
Away,
45-minute tech pause, and we are back.
As a reminder, 8-5, first pistol of the half, going the way of XLG. They also won the previous 2 pistols.
Yeah, Sentinels are currently 1 for 6 in pistols this event.
The plays are still warm because that was quite a lengthy one, but welcome back, of course. Sentinels still trailing by 3. This is an elimination game. Sentinels.
Do we know what caused tech pause? No clue.
A bit of a bounce back on this half to get that 2-0.
They did not tell us anything.
Now it's about just locking in after that extended pause. Another factor to consider. Hold the arm. That fade just barely hanging on.
Wow, what a trap.
Happyway got lucky, and even while stunned, he gets at least 1 for the road. And Happyway has been such an impactful play for XLG.
It was just a fake. Of course, Happyway is a lurk over towards A. Just going to pull over plenty of members from SEN. However, that being the case,
is it a coincidence their tech pause ended right as the other game ended?
A post plant now set up with at least one of the Sentinels utility. It's going to be pretty tough to enter. You've lost second as well, your entry player.
Got flashes from John Cutie, Narrate with nothing. A hope and a dream at 2 HP. I love this post plant, and this is going to be the beauty of XLG's double Sentinel. There only 1 remains, but Happyway did some initial work taking care of the big entry point of Sentinels being Zekin.
Hold.
This is the exit play coming through now. Zelsis looking for a few here. Stun to set him up.
Never mind.
And will at least allow them to take the Havoya, but largely is still XLG. Cleaning up strong here, retaining that rifle onto Raga as well. The Sentinels will have to just be happy to remove 2 players from XLG in that, but that's the 2 rounds that we had alluded to quite some time ago.
I'm taking my final exam today if I pass my truck driver license.
On this map, potentially taking
truck driver job is fucking hard, bro.
This first rifle round from
let's fucking go. You got this shit.
Though, to have a chance.
It's a hard job. You're on the road like crazy.
To stay composed after the extended pause and to try and catch up
streamers will be there for you
having a
in the downtime.
Strong second half and obviously a strong first half when it went 7-5 XLG's way. They got really, really hyped.
Well, so if anything, the trucks,
kind of help Sentinels keep
definitely
XLG calm down.
Lots of miles.
Okay, that's a pretty rough beginning. Bang
nice shots.
Zekin onto Raga.
This is bonus for XLG.
Map, finding success for Sentinels. There's also the lurk side being dealt with as well on A. Really, for XLG now, mid is where their advantage is. But 2 traps will be in the way for Havoya.
And you kind of is two important people.
Mark it, hello.
Points of the Sova, of Rarga, and the only chance is Coconut's paranoia, and that just hasn't developed. This round was cooked from the start from these early peaks from Sentinels, so that first rifle round, huge for them. And to potentially be able to bring all 5 of them would be even better.
Nice.
Should be. Narrate on the angle, sees the shoulder.
Good job.
Team Ace coming through, everyone participated, and then of course we saw across the entire map.
Let's go.
Nothing from XLG really able to convert in that round at all. So Sentinels, good to be able to take their actual rifle round and bring it to a victory. XLG now. Let's see what they can buy up here. Coconut, by the way, is going to be 1 away.
It feels so quiet, bro. It feels like something is missing.
1 away from the rate as well as we head into the 4th round of the half.
When I heard Sentinels trying to get hype and bring that energy back,
the crowd might be here tomorrow, though.
IGL, the leadership of John Cutie, even Zelsis as a veteran on this team to kick back Sentinels into gear.
Where are we?
Now Neri playing further back with the Haunt. That is going to get
I like that. Good
some information with a paranoia that could have came out a bang, or even just the breach.
No, he got one though.
Sentinel's side, but
nice,
not utilizing it. XLG, they battle
nice,
so well.
4 bullets.
Nothing affects them, but it's
nice,
only halfway left, and he's on the opposite side of the world, just lurking. XLG end up taking a big ol' L at the end.
Dog now.
This is gone so poorly for XLG, but a 1 versus 2 happy ways so far been.
He knows it's 1v1
though.
Wait, he ulted him, now Zelsis can run the flank.
Want to make sure they can mark him.
But he's tagged by Cam.
Take him down. Take no risks.
Observer, why the fuck are we still watching narrate, bro? The guy's clearly nowhere near him.
Happy Way is that there is time and he can isolate.
Like the Observer's like, is he delayed?
Here on beat.
Just a good nightfall from Narrate if Zelsis was in position a little bit closer from mid, so a slight desync from the Sentinels. XLG did, of course, hear Zelsis cross from mid. You know that nightfall came from A, so some information for Happy Way to work
is he gonna
with.
clear that corner?
Now the unknown in front of him.
Nice,
and it's Happy Way around the corner, but just thought he checked in. Zelsis just blends in a little too much, and Sentinels have not given up.
That was all right.
Very stable there. Losing that trade, losing that deal would have eventuated into a plant, which then could get tricky for Narrate.
We always have that spoiler, but over here it's like fucking way longer.
Shut down straight away. Speaking of Narrate, large this round. All 3 shutting down that entire A pressure. And then Zelsis with the finish to keep Sentinels competitive in this half so far.
Was the match delayed? Yeah, there's like a 45-minute tech pause. But we're back now.
You have to go on mostly a save for XLG. So this is as close as this series gets. And this is why this was my match of the day, y'all. It's so difficult to beat a team twice, and now to do it on the same maps.
5 sheriffs on
Sentinels
XLG.
Are starting to form that comeback, though. But how clean can they do it against the sheriffs?
I need Zach to feast
XLG
here.
were deadly on Lotus at times with these.
Joe got feast.
Not a thrifty per se, but being able to do a lot of damage with it.
Should I do a league arc? Iron to
over in towards mid.
Plat.
Refreshing one ways. Bang has control on 8. And now it's up to Zelsis for first contact.
That's just low-key boring to watch, right?
Decent one-way cage, rather.
It's fucking CS fucking...
Should be able to allow Zelsis to get some good advantage here.
I think I hit plat in a month, max.
Like that one way, Zelsis is going to get pinged and gets punished.
Maybe
At
less.
least takes one down with them.
I think,
and
I don't know.
just pokes and prods at the choke as XLG flood in. And the Sentinels have to play this from front to back, and doing it without John Cutie, without your IGL. It's going to be pain.
Wait, what is happening?
Give Happy Way all the answers. But
wait, I looked away when I was talking about League of Legends. What the fuck happened?
Is all that's left for Sentinels in a 1 versus 3.
Nice. You can win. You can win.
Just walked by.
Fuck.
Viva, of course, cleans it up, and I guess I said
League of
XLG
Legends, I'm not doing it.
And this is their first one.
It's another big round from Happy Way. He just converts, gets the first upgrade, dies to the shorty of Zekken, but Zekken's then instantly traded XLG on an unexpected round. I do think, however, Zelsis stayed over a little too long. Overstayed his welcome for sure.
Where's Zelsis die?
He wanted to get more value
1v?
spamming through in the one-way, but just didn't expect that he was going to get tapped in the face. This was
Damn,
really huge from
that would've been
Zekken, though, to
sick
take
if Zach
Happy Way
hit
down,
that.
but unfortunately not enough to convert further. As
He
Happy
should have
Way
hit that. That was
getting in that
unlucky a little
position,
bit.
dropping the neural depth in there as well.
Fuck, man.
And then getting kills on top of that. Man, what a sick round for XLG to be able to come back and get that lead back one more time.
And Lotus was so win streaky, and XLG are not going to let that form for
What
Sentinels. Annihilation doesn't The Warrior goes gets no one. A big double kill from Bang.
Where did John die?
From XLG, they recover the spike, and they already have Coconut within the site. No paranoia.
Omen ults.
All the util from Viva, and even a Hunter's Fury, but to even have the space to operate around that, it's going to be tough.
Observer, why are we watching narrate?
Speaking of operate, right?
Thank
What's he going to do about this situation? Should be able to get a free kill here. Doesn't need
now
to use Overdrive just yet. A single player left to play through, and Viva, if we get more teammates in this post-hunt, could use this Hunter's Fury, but Viva will be good for one, but can he get more? Absolutely not. Zelsus with the backstab, and the round goes back the way of Sentinels.
Oh my god, Bang popped off.
Did a lot to cut down the
I think John died to the Omen ult.
And cost them a lot. Although at least XLG didn't waste too much time, but then Zekin just gets to walk up with the op and get a free pick there too. If XLG could have shut that down earlier, maybe the round could have swung a different way, but Sentinels remain in the XLG shadow.
And a missed Annihilation as well. It doesn't help that situation. That catches onto Bang.
Does the Russian guy and XLG speak Chinese? XLG communicates in English.
As you can see here, Bang just really came
as
up
far as
large.
I know.
Yeah, the trades were there from XLG, but when the numbers start to get dry and the rest of the defenders start to flood on in, Zelsus will find his kill. Operator retained, drop back into Zekin's hands. As we move into number 19. And Zekin is hungry for an opening.
Oh, he scanned them.
And he's got pinged, and the Sentinels have gotten first and second blood in one of these previous rounds from just these early peaks, and XLG are going to try to mark that a bit better. It's good conditioning from Sentinels. They are going to get stunned and fall back into market. Some space for XLG to work with, but the retake is already there. John already front and center, a big pick as Sentinels spread themselves thin on both sides of the pillar. And it's Bang left to pick up the pieces.
Our B side is fucked.
1 versus 3, spike going down. And Bang has paranoia, and there's so many corners to check. At least Coconut won't be in this equation. Bang has the 1v2 ahead of and that's a good trade from Viva with 3 that round.
Side,
and the trust from XLG as well. Heavyweight was
the only one that didn't actually
have a gun. He's been the top performer in this map. Drops his rifle over to another member. And they'll be able to push on through, get that one done. A number of players on that Sentinels defense where they're actually on site. You get Zelsus over towards Marcazar, who couldn't quite get the cleanup he needed, even on that off angle. And I feel like ever since we got that Thrifty coming through from XLG, the momentum is looking decent for this team, and it's still Sentinels trying to claw their way back to an even score count in this map to give them the opportunity to close out the series 2-0 and move on.
We need cap
Sentinels tried the same early round approach of just kind of saying hello and not getting greeted the way they like this time, but this time not kind of waiting for a whole retake to form and kind of letting them plant. Sentinels are trying to be on prevention duty, and I think trying to find their way through that chaos is what Sentinels have to talk about. Also just composing themselves, because this has been
crazy
very close,
is that we're still watching the first
rounds.
series of the day.
In this half
I guess the other one's done, and we're 3.5 hours in.
XLG so close to forcing.
I went live earlier, but still.
Zekin, of course, he saw the operator this round, so tried his best coming in with the overdrive, but only so much you can do there.
I went live 30 minutes earlier.
Come back from attack pause 11 and 8. As mentioned,
okay, 11-8.
Not great weaponry on board for Sentinels.
Definitely
either,
not.
But they've essentially bought themselves out, and they want to prevent this XLG 12. Very important for Sentinels to win this round now.
Sentinels can try.
Not today.
Kind of unite again with the initiator of narrate. You got Prowlers, you got Paranoia, and it's him with a double kill. Could have saved this round. Narrate has been huge in these rounds at times, and still dwindles XLG down to only 2
4v2 now.
Solid from Narrate, and now there's guns on the floor as well. So what do you do in this situation for XLG? You're down to minimal numbers. You're starting to pass over the potential of gun upgrades if Sentinels are allowed map control here. And so for XLG, retain position, push back over into the A. Sensing that.
Who's the coach?
Bang is going to be nearby, but you called it. Narrate's been huge so far on this defensive side. Does Viva have what it takes to take down Bang here?
Now let's see if the base setup works.
Contact, John Cutie could swing. He has full util, one away from the Rolling Thunder. John Cutie up next. Viva's just quicker to the trigger. Look at that teamwork with him and Happyway. Viva, it's not always about the numbers, but the importance of these kills. And now the plant goes down. Speed activated. Zekin in position to drone out. Nace has spotted this neon. As Zekin plays with his food. The spike in front of XLG to defend, and Happyway puts one down.
Oh my god.
And it's 1 to go. getting XLG up
oh
to
my
match
god.
point.
One crouched, one standing, and Viva will be the one standing alone now. As the round ends there, just no utility left to play through Zekin, no fast lane, no relay bolts available. And really it was the play in elbow. John Cutie not finding that kill with the Stinger, and then the conversion onto Bang, who was watching over towards main. Careful about the fact that he can get flanked himself, but it was the double move. Both players from XLG coming through in elbow, getting the cleanup, and then converting into narrow theft to find the positioning of the last two players, and it's just another gorgeous, happy way around that allows XLG now to push this into map point.
Gotta be able to cycle these ults well for Sentinels, but invest what you need, because you're on your last life for this map. Or Haven comes up, and this is... It wasn't a good map for XLG on their last visit, I believe, against DRX, but this kind of momentum they built up and how they've been able to be resilient even after the tech pause says a lot to XLG's work. From winning Ascension to getting to this point, stage champions, to going up against one of North America's best. That's XLG with a 2-3 split at the moment. Could activate Rarga with the overdrive.
Good news for Sentinels, plenty of ultimates. That's what they have to work through. Find some decent value there, find some gun upgrades, and suddenly you're in business, and there's the first. Neural Theft as well to confirm the position. You're going to be understanding the Coconut's right there. Can Zelsis get this cleanup? That will be huge.
Making sure that breaches on the opposite side of the map could be huge for XLG. They are just a big number narrated.
Wait, Narrate died. Fuck.
Get the hunt down.
We have breach over retake.
Once again, stealing away these rounds as XLG could get one of the final plants going. As John Cutie with the Rolling Thunder is coming up for Sentinels.
Yeah, can these two players on XLG do it again in these clutch scenarios? It would be insane for them to just consistently win. However, for Sentinels, they have the ultimates to play through. They have utility for Zekin as well, and he's got a gun.
He slips and slides, and there's only one place XLG. But there's Lord
I heard him cheer too.
XLG. They give
oh my god. Happy Way played so well that map. Holy fucking shit,
I said this at the start, it's a happy day for Happy Way. Unreal, 3K there. 2 versus 3. Can you call that one a clutch? I guess in some ways, absolutely. You had to play into a Rolling Thunder. You had to play into full util from Zekin as well, who credit to Sentinel.
We have had G2 eliminated by a Chinese team. Let's see if another Chinese team can find some more success here, or whether Sentinels will keep the narrative the same. Over to you, Lemon Kiwi and Avril.
Can Zelsis still say that that they own the Chinese region? We have to settle the score here on Haven.
And look at this, different comps all the way around. It's like we swapped sides entirely. XLG are going to be the ones running the Trident shoot onto the Jet. Something I was thinking about if he was going to look towards an early on, straight onto C main. Massive face-up, both teams contacting each other.
Nice shot.
Waiting for the utility though.
Nice second.
Oh yeah, it's just going to swing for it and die.
Second Juicy, and XLG now just trying to escape,
but also
get their spike back. The double swing.
Nice bang.
This is the way that we want to see Sentinels synchronize from here on out, just tightening that up. Would have, I think, had Sunset go the distance. This is already a better map for Sentinels.
This is
finally a pistol, right?
Watch the possibility for Happy Way to do something. I mean, look, he's been legendary on Sunset, but a 1 versus 4 would have to be ridiculous. So he'll get back.
Good job.
Like Zelsis, speaking of which,
good job.
Killjoy for this map. We see probably more teams play
the
towards
UI
Cypher.
code is like ahead.
Sentinel's last performance on Haven, they were playing that Cypher, basically the exact same comp that XLG are running, minus the Jet over towards the Neon. But what's interesting about the Sentinel comp is they're essentially playing a similar style with the Viper as DRX versus XLG. So Sentinels are trying to basically replicate some of that DRX success that shut down XLG in yesterday's game.
It's going to be good surveillance from Zelsis, but at least I'm happy to see Happy Way on the Cypher. And this was not to shade Havoya. Now he can frag and enable his other duelist without necessarily needing to be one. Although the double duelist would have been sick.
Oh my god, please come Garage.
Explode in off of this breach, but it's the anti-eco obviously in favor of Sentinels. The very loud and proud sniper from Zekin, who is going to be smoked off. A B approach from XLG, but having 5 on the retake, it's going to be difficult for XLG to hold back.
They need to be able to close these distances as well. They want to do that over towards A, but they just flashed up beautiful paranoia onto all members. And here comes Zekin from behind.
Oh my!
It takes too long to reload, but Sentinels pinch from all angles, and it's a pain sandwich that XLG did not want to be part of, so beautiful retake and bringing all of those into the bonus.
It's perfectly well played by the Omen of Sentinels. Bang, and it's all over. Paranoia setting up second for success, sliding on in. Despite it only being a Marshall, it's good enough for Sentinels to cleanly walk away from that. Or pass the Marshall on to John. And now the operator's online for Zekken. Insane timings coming on through, as this is going to end up being a very critical round where XLG might not be ready to walk into an operator this quick on round 3.
We almost got into Zekken's YouTube video if he would have just kept hitting headshot.
Zekken has an op already.
And even unscoped, that would have been
sick.
Going
A, though.
He's having such a fiery start. It's only been 2 rounds, but I'm excited to see how this is going to end. Now the first rifle round for XLG. To not let Sentinels get too much momentum off of this as the A approach looms.
And yesterday as well, Human Jet player for DRX was finding a lot of success earlier
3
on
A.
against XLG.
It's an A pop.
A lot of first bloods. Jump peeking his bang.
Oh my god. On second thought, I'm good. Good paranoia.
Thinking about how far Raga really wants to take this one.
I guess that's pretty surprising for Omen to be on A.
Multiple members are now on site.
Usually the C anchor.
Yeah,
we have
Spike's already gone.
Zekken opping there instead.
That A is cooked.
And John Cutie just acting as a semi-sentinel with really good delays with the orbs, the mollies on the floor, and XLG.
If it was Tarik, he would have dashed
now
inside.
Can make it look like they went elsewhere, but this lurk from Zelsis
I'm backing
is what
up,
matters.
bro.
He's got, of course, ears and eyes on C with the turret there, and he tries to keep his eyes peeled on mid, so Sentinel's still confident in their read.
Are they going to see Narrate, though? They need to get Narrate down early.
Happy way.
Is still coming to slow this down a little bit more.
Oh.
There's nothing more than what the Sentinels defenders could do. Of course, using a lot of those bonus weapons. And Zekken wants to keep the op, so XLG will show face on their first rifle round.
Why are they so good?
Huge from the getting Narrate down, checking that angle, and then bursting past the Viper wall. Cleaning up a couple plays with lesser weaponry. It really was the op from Zekken that could have been the game changer.
Why are they actually
XLG,
so good?
Unwilling to walk in towards C, steadfast in their confidence to push their way through A, knowing that utility had been spent, Snakebite was gone. Zelsis really hoping that somebody's going to walk through towards the end. The scans are going to come through just to make sure it's not going to be the case. Already have advanced movement for Voya to scout out that they can safely retreat back over towards A main. And you'd imagine Zelsis should probably die to Spike here so that he can drop his
NA going home on day 2?
Do you really want to be bringing a judge in the next round is the question.
There is a world where all of NA gets eliminated today. Actually,
probably not the worst. You can still play within smokes and stuff like that, so we'll see.
Yeah, and XLG just being able to bring all 5 of those rifles into the next, building up your economy is just the whole other battle that they have to face against Sentinels, because I'm thinking back to that first map, it was so win streaky from both teams, and Sentinels just ended up draining the bank accounts of XLG, forcing them on so many saves.
The off-season merchants are qualified is crazy.
Because of that, so Sentinels
full buy.
haven't been able to create too much insurance in terms of a gap in the score.
Full buy, let's see it.
See them already smoking out C.
They're going C.
Concerned about the fact
we
that
have
that
no one on
sideline could
C.
be dangerous. Zekken didn't fire a shot in the last round, so the operator could still be a surprise.
We have not
XLG
a single person on C.
Wise to it. They are still going to try and break through out of the smoke. Just be the turret there to see everything else, and Sentinel's playing for retake on C. As Zekken walked off.
Nobody home. No eyes on garage or back site. Smoke for coconut available. Just kind of delay things.
Paranoia, Neon Stun,
of course,
Dart.
no drone, and Sean Cutie with an op, but it's going to be difficult for Sentinels to break through, and it's actually a proactive Paranoia from XLG, thinking they had the timing on the Sentinels entry, even an early fall line too, so XLG hold the door, now racing in off the Paranoia is Zekken, big opener against Viva, now shooting through the boxes, it's just going toe
Everyone died.
Punch for punch, and it's the XLG multi-kills that drive at the end, another 3K.
Everyone died. I don't know what happened, but everyone died.
Playing offside a little bit further back that will find the success here. Happy way in Havoya.
Oh my God.
Has the insurance policy even
Should we
further
neon
back
wall when we
into
run in? He
C-Long.
chose not to.
Maybe
Happy
a little
Way's
concerned
actually
that
just him. I
Coconut
know, he's
dropped
having
the
a
Paranoia
fucking
that
series
early,
right
but
now.
they still had Util to play through defensively to prevent
The observer's watching Zekken reload. He has to. Okay, I'm not going to
from
nitpick
Zekken
this.
to say the least. At least get Viva down early, but beyond that, they just couldn't quite handle the last couple of members. Good scan, as we saw, onto the Jet of Raga. The Happyweight continues his sharp streak that we saw in Sunset, now in Taven.
I like that XLG went away from the Yoru and ISO as much as Mitch would be hyped to see the Raga Yoru once again. But they had such a weak defensive half because of that. I think it was 3-9. This is a much more
missed 4 kills while Zach reloaded, I know.
Going well so far with back-to-back rounds. Looking for a corpse for Happyweight with the neural theft advantage. And Raga makes that space and somehow loses that.
Nice houses. Oh my god. Holy fuck.
To reestablish the Sentinels?
They did not check the double box to their right. That is very basic, and unfortunately, that may cost them. And
no ace, but that was insane.
Not going to be the clean up. So many members. We've seen it on a 1v4 before, and it's just too many members of Sentinels to break through Zelsis. When things were getting awkward in that BBL game, Zelsis still held strong. And the first customer was Raga. Zelsis popping in, but you have to be concerned. Like at this point, how are you not turning around? How are you not considering where Zelsis is standing from? By the time that Havoya
he actually went fucking crazy,
far
dude.
too late. A
Zelsis
very
6-1.
common
Holy
box
shit.
for players to hide, and particularly on an eco that just wasn't checked.
Out of all the weapons that round, it's a Sheriff that almost gets an ace. Jeez. Sentinels got ults to work with, just mainly the overdrive, and narrate one off the Hunter's Fury, but Sentinels haven't been aggro for a orb, especially with the smoked off. Despite Sentinels having a deeper smoke, they're countered by the XLGs. So Garage will be explored for the first time for XLG, and with the breach, you're happy to break in.
Yeah, I haven't really played towards this angle. Seeing Zelsis hold this position.
Zelsis, again.
1 round prior, but nothing really came through. Zelsis, the big hero of the last round, now has to play the whole on as long as possible. Rifle in hand. A little bit of support coming through John Cutie, and Zelsis is down first.
Fuck, man.
Fucking
Omen Paranoia fucked him. Wait, question.
Sussed out by the Happyweight trip.
I guess Bang wasn't able to smoke mid-side?
Quite split, and Havoya gets to explore. Does lose it to Bang, but the info
I think he needed a
mid-side
mid-side smoke.
There is half the battle.
I'm guessing he couldn't.
Coming through the top site. XLG have time on their side too. The Paranoia clears out Garage.
This is a hard retake,
bro. The targets Bang was looking for.
And look at the instant smoke up as well coming through from Coconut. 1 HP, by the way, Happyweight.
Wow.
Nice and easy. 2-piece. Doesn't even need the rest of the teammates. Could have just handled that one all by himself.
I don't know.
Maybe not actually given the fact that I didn't mention Coconut instantly smoking off connector.
A coach, a manager, everything.
So a response from XLG. Insane round from Sentinels to be able to win a Thrifty, and XLG not to be deterred.
Sentinels timeout now. Still the op around.
This attack?
A little frustration there.
What's happening?
I want to see Sentinels, whatever happens here, go out kicking and screaming in the best form that they can. But losing to XLG would
They're
not
the
be on my
favorites.
bingo card.
They shouldn't really be kicking and screaming at all. They should be the ones piling themselves into a qualification for top 8. It's XLG that had the lowest of expectations from everyone watching, considering the circumstance with their roster, considering the circumstance with how they ended up playing in their opening match versus DRX, not giving a lot of confidence. And we just saw G2 get knocked out. They did win in 1 map versus Billy, and they fought hard for it, but again, roster circumstances can often really come around and bite you, and it certainly did for G2, but for XLG, it's somehow empowered them. Havoya has improved this team by being on this team now.
Just a really high pressure environment in terms of how high the stakes are when the prize pool is this big.
3-3.
We're back into game. Good ults, but also just a stinger for John Cutie. 1 away from the pit.
It's like a half by 3 rifles though.
Another B approach from XLG.
So fast play.
Dash in off the smoke from Raga.
They have sight already.
Always make the space, and holding it is a whole different story.
This is slow though. Snakebite would slow things down considerably. They do beat the timing of the smoke. Here comes Zekin. He wants to dive on in off the combination that Narrate gets, but it's more than info. It's kills.
And he tagged the third.
The 2-for-1. Disgusting.
Wow.
XLG.
Happyway's still alive though.
The count. They haven't had a lot of luck at B. This'll go Sen's way
Good
to try and help their economy.
Good stun. I think Zekin's stun also got them, right?
They were playing into a real potential trap there. And as soon as you see the snakebite come through, you have to start thinking, do we really want to continue or not, but it was a full commitment from Raga, which means everyone else is going to follow through. And then a situation where, yeah, Zek in full confidence swings on and slides through.
Our money was also
following the rate, laying down the carpet for him, and the Hunter Sphere could not have done better. Full scans, actually a double kill, and then the third shot then finds damage again. Couldn't have had a better situation than that, and obviously we knew there were Stingers coming on in. XLG, I don't know if they were concerned the possibility that Sentinels weren't going to have the best weaponry.
They might, though. They have
you don't want
knives.
to be walking into a place like B when you know Stingers could be a possibility. But it was a Hunter Sphere that obviously closed things out.
Narrate, still one of my favorite players on Sentinels in terms of what they've been able to do at EWC, from big clutch moments on Sunset to a round-winning Hunter's Fury. Completely drown out the rounds of XLG from the B site.
Bro, don't ask me, man.
And look who XLG trusts to have a hero rifle here. It's going to be Viva with Raga.
They have an X factor with the coach, dude.
What's more,
it's actually harder.
Is more than okay with coming through on a Sheriff.
If they don't know what they're doing, how can we know what they're doing?
The most consistent play on the team so far, looking to see if Raga can really make magic happen on this Bladestorm. However, only on 81 HP for the time being. That's info spotted by Narrate now.
And because you have pistols, you have to play this no lurk activated. No other option for XLG except Raga with the one, with the smoke separated from the rest.
Nice.
And Narrate and Bang keep it locked for Sentinel.
And Bang was stunned as well, and still he goes down. First kill onto Raga. And then it all falls apart for XLG, and Raga could have gone large. His opening pick was certainly giving confidence that XLG might be able to get their way onto site, find themselves another thrifty win.
It's a good read, right?
Bang and Narrate hold on so powerfully, and Bang now leading the charge for Sentinels 9-3.
Flawless 2 rounds from Sentinels post timeout, just needing to calm down and lock in. Of course, you are against pistols, so now let's see what XLG have up their sleeve now that they're able to buy up. Hunter's Fury from Viva could do that Narrate impression. Maybe more for the post plant.
Got pushed up. Several members of the Sentinels are in short. It's going to be
Molly fucked him up. Narrate, nice kill.
Not what you want to see for your XLG.
Oh, the swing from Raga. He's always good for one, but Sen are good at trading him out.
Good wall,
so
good smoke.
It's always been super close rounds between these two teams.
4v3
that many would not have expected.
Voya has a position here, and he's well found his target in Bang.
No
as well on the opposite side of the map. Suddenly, XLG have brought their way back in 3-2 here.
Timing!
Oh, terrible.
Oh, that would have been everything for Coconut to save. I mean, he just put the red carpet down for XLG to maybe get a plant down at C. And now Viva
We don't know where they're going, though.
They got time, though, but XLG don't know where they go. They're going to move onto the site where Coconut died. And it's going to end up working out for them. Havoya making the calls here. Where is the Viva? Do not take that trade, please, Viva. That would be terrible. You need to get grouped up with Havoya right now and play for a plant. Cannot afford to die in mid.
Scanning ahead.
Right, plant should be good. Zekin and Narrate recon 2 to help
Does he have stun? No. He has wall and dart.
Eyes and ears as best as he can. Zekin
garage.
Adjusts carefully, left side, and actually
how long is the wall? Can he stick a wall?
Plays through main. Of course, you have Havoya through garage. XLG don't want to get multi-killed.
He's flanking.
Sen just within the site. And yes, Havoya could be on the flank coming from behind, and Zekin doesn't know what to expect. And Hunter's Fury gets the attention
won.
from
The
UI.
Oh my god, he stuck it. The fucking UI.
What?
Oh my god, the UI fucking spoiled the 5 seconds in advance. You guys saw that?
You are kidding me.
I saw him win before the fuse finished.
Me. XLG had the 2 versus 1 of the Hunter's Fury. Havoya even earned the Rolling Thunder off of that
biased casters ever? A little bit, but it's okay. I don't know, whatever.
The defuse comes through, the ninja defuse. How on earth
fucking,
XLG
Mickey Mouse
have
anyway.
just allowed this one to slip through their fingers? Oh my god. Oh, that is terrible day of eyes to watch that round unfold.
What is that dart, bro?
Sentinels, it's what they needed.
That dart is insane, brother.
Okay, the early pit.
You guys saw that?
A deep one over at the A for the defense, and no Hunter's Fury from Viva to kind of counteract that.
They know he's there.
XLG could just walk away from the center, so packed in, but Coconut, because he teleported in, they're committed. XLG with the Rolling Thunder, which just haven't been able to get any opening.
We won.
And Sentinels unite for a 7-3.
Oh no, this is the yell.
Weird position.
So fucking weird to watch this right now. I don't know what's happening. Like everything's confusing as fuck. The UI is ahead. I can hear the streams in advance.
It was just good shooting from Sentinels to just throwing some shorty shots.
What do you call it?
But there's a world where Coconut just plays a little bit more patiently.
Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Finds a better timing there, but as soon as he started shooting, his position was gone, and then the rest of XLG, not a lot to say on that A side of things, and they'll take their own tactical timeout, man. I just, again, that Ninja defuse round at number 9, kind of shaking their team up here a little bit, and now they're just dropping more and more rounds. See a little bit of frustration of Voe there, communicating with the rest of his team, and this is the problem. You have a situation where mixed language rosters could be some miscommunication in terms of what the game plan is, and certainly team play issues is where I've had the largest criticism of the Shilai Gaming team. We saw on Lotus several moments where that cost them extremely good situations that they probably should have won in, and no better is a position where they allowed that Ninja defuse to happen on 2 rounds ago. So yeah, Shilai Gaming, where they've been strong, they've been strong.
I have
where
stage
they've been
sound
weak,
of no
it's been
crowd.
very bad.
I actually like the stage sounds.
Yeah, I wish we had a replay of that Ninja defuse.
I just wish it wasn't delayed.
The Hunter's Fury is there.
Hearing the players
flank
cheer
from
is
the
hype.
breach on the other side. Like, how do you get away with that? That's got to be frustrating. But the thing that XLG have to hope for is an 8-4 half. It's currently 7-3. You're on a save. I guess a hero rifle or. Gonna buy up what you can if you're XLG, but not the half they were hoping for.
I'll tell you what, they put the hero rifle in the right place hands this time. Happy way, he's been solid so far. Let's see if he can make it work.
Said, why timeout if the coach is playing?
His life very early on over towards A, and that may happen again.
The coach is calling a timeout. The only difference is that he's actually in the server now.
I expect it. You know what? Absolutely. You definitely throw the Hunter's Fury out for just this guy. He is worth pulling it in whole ultimate just for 1 kill. Sentinels, well played.
Out of the picture. So XLG can go forward, droning up through Garage, wanting to tempo up. They've smoked off B.
This is eco for XLG.
So they don't get flanked.
Guardian on
now
Raga.
Coconut has to be the lurk and check out KU.
He wants the gun. Coconut would like to see if he can maybe retrieve
Wasn't
a rifle.
XLG the #1 seed from China for Toronto or no?
Good flash.
Someone important, no paranoia, but Raga at least keeps himself safe.
Oh,
trades!
One enemy remaining.
They were,
Once
right?
again, and XLG, well, they didn't even get the rifle from that. Coconut's
Nice.
like, what did I miss? Well, the
Everything.
whole round.
Missed everything and more. That round, again, not pretty at all from the side of XLG. They are going to have full guns to come on through. Hero rifle drop.
Oh yeah, one of their players got removed. That's true.
In some of these rounds.
One of their players got suspended, that's right.
Look at this from Raga as well. Just, okay, instantly falls off the angle for some reason. Just doesn't consider that Bang could swing on through.
You got suspended.
So I'm not too sure if they needed that many members looking over towards C-Link. Yeah, man, it's weird.
Me?
He didn't even smoke it off or anything.
No,
so
not
Bang
me.
just comes
You.
on through and just deletes everyone, cleans it up.
So like I said, you're hoping for an 8-4 half if you're XLG. Your final buy-up of the half.
Good Bang
and
again.
neural theft would be critical if, of course, Happy Way can win that 1v1 against
Rush
Bang
Hour?
if they ever encounter each other.
Was it Rush Hour 1 or 2?
It's not going to be Happy Way
Rush Hour
walking
1,
up,
I
but
think,
it will
right?
be a situation where this round goes a little bit later. You have a large flank capability for Bang, but also a trap setup where XLG want to walk up C-Long. Guess what? Bang can close around again. He's
Was it
done
Rush
so
Hour
multiple
3?
times. However, look over towards the
No,
left
it
side.
wasn't.
Here.
Are you
John Cutie
serious?
in good position.
That's Ian?
This is XLG being
Oh,
synchronizing. Better for trade, something that was really lacking in that last round. And a 5 versus 3 within B has been a difficult sight for them to hold, but only when there's 5 left of Sentinels
Nice
and the
try.
overdrive tries to kick things into gear. And Zekin does what he can. It's
Oh my
Arena 1
god.
versus
He
2.
dinked a Cypher, I think.
1 versus 3. Happy Way still has HP somehow, and the job gets easier, but it's not done for Narrate. He's even pre-shooting, but one from main. Gonna get attacked by the recon, and that's the timing for the swing for Happy Way. And an 8-4 half, the best you could hope for XLG.
Yeah, play that one a little bit more patiently if you're Happy Way. Don't fall into obvious traps. Come through late in the round for the cleanup. You know your aim's sharp enough to do it. But the entry coming through from XLG was where the money was made. John Cutie down nice and early, and he was
Small
in a good one and done
halftime break.
spot where minimum could have potentially have traded for 1. But the structure there from XLG to check both sides, both corners, and they win both as well as Zelsis falls on the opposite side of John Cutie, and suddenly numbers advantage looking strong. Zekin only sliding in with 1 kill on the overdrive, and then Happy Way with the coup de grace over the end. So a minor recovery here but some sloppy rounds in the middle for XLG. The Sentinels are all too happy to take advantage of.
Sentinels have been really strong on the defensive pistols, but overall, XLG have won more pistol rounds throughout this series. But Sentinels got really lucky, just not lucky, but they really did surprise XLG when they just walked up through C and just farmed XLG off the pistols. So
the saturation is off on some of the cams.
Expecting something special cooked up on this pistol from Sentinels.
I don't know. I haven't noticed that.
This will determine, I think, whether XLG have a chance to come back.
I just feel bad for the players because apparently they're playing with packet loss and they're playing online.
Or Sentinels
so like they flew all this way for this event, and it's just a fucking shit show. And we don't really know entirely how bad it is, but I'm pretty sure they're getting fucked.
And if they would, they'd be the expected team to have won, not without taking some scratches and bruises along the way. But for XLG, they're not happy about that. 5 in a row from 7 to 11 that were
G2 was smart.
Costly.
They came with their coach. They left early.
But a strong finish on 12 will at least give them some confidence left that
haters will say they fell off because of no Tejo, but really,
and maybe beat Sentinels.
It was strategic. They're getting ready for stage 2.
The types of rounds that he's been winning, his impact has been unreal.
The map pool at this event is not the same as the map pool at stage 2. They're maximizing their time at home.
Throughout the series, I look towards Coconut to set up Rarga for more than 1 kill. Which is more than I would get, but I still want to see Rarga have his pop-off moment, one that we expected. But Sentinels have a fake that they're trying to sell towards B.
Lurker's dead already?
Committed, but after losing Zelsis, that plan to go A has been maybe ruined.
So they lurk down.
So I don't know how bad it is, but yet I call it a shit show.
Sometimes
it's definitely a shit show, regardless of how bad it is, based off of what I know.
I was going to say, typically, sometimes you kill the ganker and then you just rotate off because you're considering, well, that wasn't the team coming through onto this side of the map.
They have packet loss and they're playing online. It's a shit show, but how bad is it?
Just abuse
past
and
that,
walk over
I don't know.
But once that info was spotted against John Cutie, Sentinels have to back out.
Isn't it Ride's fault for not giving server perms?
They could also be walking into Happy
I have no idea, brother. Well. Someone fucked up. I don't know who.
EWC is a recon too, but is trying to watch for a garage flank potentially from Sentinels, and also just trusting into the Cypher trip to give him info from Happyway.
My eyes are down.
Now, something is suspicious. Happyway is going to call for reinforcement. Here's the push from Sentinels being slowed by the cage, and Happyway
Narrate's aware.
Gets nothing for his efforts, and Sentinels trying to even up the numbers, but it's Viva coming alive! Oh! And the third one in the corner!
Jesus Christ.
Back against the Sentinels.
Of course, we saw in Sunset when Happyway wasn't there. Viva certainly was to collect and deliver for XLG a 4K to start things out. A pistol going the way of XLG. 4K accelerating the Hunter's Fury charge rate. You can see the team was also more than willing to believe in Viva's own personal mechanics, giving him the hero rifle a couple of times there as well. But yeah, Happyway wanted to play
fuck a replay, you're right.
Cage, and there's always a risk involved there because you can get double faced very easy. He loses that deal, but Viva just cleans up. My goodness, that was required for XLG.
I think we've won 2 out of 8 pistols. Is that good or bad? What is 2 out of 8 in percentage?
Anti-eco to bring us much into the bonus.
20%?
Have more of a marathon than a sprint. Try and catch up. This is the biggest gap we've seen between the two
25%.
teams. Setting up camp now at B. It's the breach from Pavoya. Still flashes in hand. And Second, who hunts down Coconut. Narrate takes care of business. And Sentinels facing some trouble.
Oh, it's a quarter.
Is on their side, and it's Happyway saying hello, and does what he can.
Wait.
XLG, they bought up.
Viva La Vida.
They find themselves behind in numbers. And it's Viva. Okay, John Cutie got to finish up what you started. Kind of a choke. Wait a minute, Viva Rarga. They clutch.
Well, they still got good guns in their hands. Rarga can still get the one shot, of course. And Happyway coming through late will also contribute to the fight. And well played by Sentinels first and foremost. They got into site cleanly, got a couple of kills. 3 versus 5 was what XLG had to work through there, but XLG actually end up getting it done. Look at this opening from Zekin, beautiful stuff. The Happyway cleans up Bang, turns it into a 2 versus 3, and Rarga and Viva combined just so sharp. And Viva, as we said, in that opening pistol, good for it. If the rest of the team is down, now you've got 2 clutch masters on the team. If Happyway can't do it, Viva can.
Oh, we needed that.
From a 3K into the pistol by himself with the Ghost to another multi-kill for Viva. We want to see more of this guy.
He's got the Hunter's Fury now, off the back of that.
That's so quick.
Round 3 Hunter's Fury, 4K into a 3K. Into, did he get the defuse as well? Must have.
He's getting pressured back while Happy Way is smoked up, but could be ready to swing at a moment's notice. And it's
Okay.
Viva that shows face, and Happy Way don't want that smoke, especially with the better bio from Sentinels.
Could have played off Havoya there. I'm a little surprised. He just dry swings it.
Nice.
Happy Way as well will be punished. That's your 2 top players potentially down. Raga's in the mix, but XLG, they've been winning rounds off Happy Way and Viva. If you want to swing
coach is
that
on
one,
Pie
if you're
Watch,
Viva,
by the way.
surely Havoya does something to help you through the wall, but just didn't see the team play.
Garage, check it
And team
now.
play has been, again, I think the biggest issue for XLG, just not connected, and Zelsis will find
One
the
more.
time at a coconut. This round is over.
Every single time XLG have won a pistol and an anti-eco,
Yes,
they have
we
not
won.
been able to convert that
Wait, what?
bonus. The first rifle round from Sentinels.
Who's yelling? Why are you blading
It's
me?
usually good for it, but let's see how this finishes at the end. You're just gonna take that, save that rifle if you're Voya, and Rarga's gonna go far away. That was a clean way. That was a really nice shot. Really, really good stuff.
Yeah, he's sharp, and at this stage, I mean, you could tell that XLG have kind of abandoned the round because Havoya is just trying to take the rifle and run, but given how sharp Raga there was, it was a real possibility as you start thinking back, and I was like, wait a minute, should Havoya actually just made the play happen? Because that looked suddenly clutchable, but you never know. You never know if
Mid-round
Raga's
swap.
going to have those
Do a
moments or not.
post
And so far,
But they don't realize that they've already lost too much control.
Oh.
It's going to be left now just as Foggy.
A400 Thieves.
be some licks taken in terms of damage done to economy against Sentinels, but it will be Sentinels taking the round.
3-round gap between the two. No ults to really worry about.
It
but
means there's 4 members not on full armor for Sentinels, by the way.
How are they already A4? Didn't we start?
True. Still waiting for
I
that
don't know,
Hunter's
actually,
Fury
whatever.
from Viva, too. I think this could be the round to pull it out now that you have a good buy-up and even an op in this picture.
What am I hoping for in the upcoming Champs bundle? An op?
Been the lurk
An
over on
op
the side,
fucking,
supported by Viva, also in long. But Happy Way, holy.
Mid.
Yep, just threading the needle through double doors.
Happy Way's been more conservative around C and now hoping to help
It's
out
a
Viva,
Vandal?
who's
How do you
usually
know
been at
that?
that double door, but this time it's Coconut. Some swaps in positions for XLG.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade.
It's always Vandal?
Just hoping to play off contact, now avoiding the drone, but
Every odd
as
year
it's
is
in mid,
Vandal?
that's what XLG have to work off of.
Well, they
It's
should
gonna
start
be difficult
introducing the
without
op
no
this
recon,
year.
no drone to get them in. Gonna have to be some setup from Bang here to do it. Zekin's caught in the trap and
I'm out of here.
will eat the stun.
Okay, good punish from
Okay.
Bang after Zekin got caught by a trip and some damage taken. Nonetheless, Zekin and friends are
I just
not
don't
looking
know.
so hot because
know
of
what's happening.
the work that was done on the right side of the map.
And how patient was Raga as well, knowing that eventually Zelsis will walk into me, I'm gonna get this shot, and he does deliver. And late in the round now, rotation will finally be called. It's Coconut's turn to show
Wow.
up. He doesn't versus
30
Zekin.
seconds left.
Zekin and Bang together, 2 top
Nice.
players. They are
wait a
proving it
minute.
right now. This is now winnable. 2 versus 2 in a post plant.
But Rarga with the op hopefully can find a different gun once he gets into around the garage area, and Zekin and Bang have much util. It's just going to be the face-off, 2 versus 2. Rarga with the slow walk-up.
Good
Viva could
start.
just bait for him.
Here,
and the
both of them,
shock
no?
dart to force some movement if XLG want to try and make
Good
Sen
smoke.
uncomfortable. It's Rarga with the flash,
Nice!
the dash, gets the
Wait.
focus of Sen.
Oh my word.
Flex both.
I thought that was us for sure.
Raga, tricky plays coming on through. And would you look at that, both members of Sentinel turn around for him. They forgot about Viva. There's 2 members of XLG alive. And Bang, he hesitated for a moment, kept eyes on CT, and then still turned. Both members, really, that just gives the game away to Viva. Of course, you have to be concerned a little bit about Raga, but you know the play. I mean, you can just see the play in
No,
slow
I thought it was
motion.
us
You see
cheering. I'm
Raga
not
drop
doing the
down
spoiler
cloud
cheers
burst
anymore.
Through the Omen smoke, obviously he's dashing into that one. 2020
Fuck this
hindsight
fucking
says you don't
spoilers.
have both players turning your heads to look at that one, and what Viva says, thank you very much for the round.
This forces Sen into a save and chance for XLG to stay within 1. Farm up the ultimates they need to get to double digits as well.
Damn.
Now because of all these Cypher trips, the cameras, Sen just have to scale up slowly. Cool maneuver there, but mostly pistols.
Zekin did get one trip down, so now B
split
is
through B.
a little bit of concern. Zelsis is, rather, Zekin is going to try and sell this one at least a little bit. He did pop ultimate. He's going to transfer that one over towards C.
Oh, let's see if Raga can hold on, and the one shot to rule them all through Garage.
Good flash.
The knives and everything. Now,
nice.
they could connect. Let's go back to the op, and it's dropped, and something Boy wants to pick up, but he's dead too. It's SEN. 2 versus 3, but against Vandals.
Oh my god, fuck this solo.
And Hunter's Fury pierces through the hearts
Nice
of
try,
the
bro.
Sentinels.
Fuck.
And XLG at arm's reach.
Team Ace coming through, team effort coming through. Operator secured as well, you would imagine. Yep, picked up, given back over towards Raga. Really would have liked to have seen a bit more from Raga. Could have been a cleaner round if Raga actually landed shots on his Blade Storm there. Was assisted, of course, by Havoya. We did see the flash coming through, and despite that, just a couple of stray shots. So Raga, he's been sharp at various points in the past, but this tournament, again, has been a bit of a struggle for him mechanically, individually. Thankfully, though, late in the round.
Tech pause.
Secure as always.
And Raga gets to
9-8 full buy.
So
Raga has an
that's
off.
going to be the X factor. We talked about the patience that, he's had to either go into Ace
Sova
Sewers
ult,
and kind of use
Cypher.
John Cutie's wall against him. But this time he'll position just
pause
at
again.
the front of B on an angle. See if he can catch SEN walking up through B mid.
Oh my god.
Just waiting to see if we've actually corrected the technical issues or not. But again, if you see that 7-11 5-round streak, Sentinels were able to get on the defensive side. That is where it hurts for XLG. And if XLG end up losing this map and overall the series, that's what will have cost to them. They've done well to be able to close the gap on this side so far. 2 pistols in terms of pistol anti-eco. You drop that gun round with the bonus, whatever. But then you get 4 and 5 on that second half. That's what you need.
And the issue is on John Cutie's side, and I mentioned that just because he's already feeling so much pressure from being the IGL and kind of having to have the perfect read on the game against a more troublesome Chinese Titan in XLG, and revisiting the same maps and have to...
We're back.
Streak right now. After dropping to BBL yesterday, they want to clean this one up. They're still 1 round ahead.
9-8.
You're starting to see XLG
We're
heat
live.
up on
We're
the
live for
second
real.
half now. Sentinels. 4 rounds to close it out.
Okay, Raga with the sniper. He's at the front, at the top, whiffs the shot, and
Dash pop.
he just gotta hit those. Your Raga. It's not his peak. It's not bad.
Nice kill, bang.
But now that gives up the site completely, as that won't be able to be held by an op. So they'll take the perimeter, and SEN will get a plant.
And Happy way down as well. Now it's going to be Viva. Combination of possibly Raga as well. Dropping that operator to Havoya. Now you want Raga on entry with the rifle instead. Viva in first.
Nice.
Just taken down by the high-low setup.
Should be a save.
It's good crossfire from SEN when you have all 5 on the post plan. There's not too much you can do if you're XLG, especially with the Viper
Good
wall.
job. Holy fuck.
Coming up and down on the right side to the reestablished smokes from Bang, and not really having to use any bells and whistles to get here, because Raga just gave that sight to you.
Really was the missed shot, unfortunately, and you know, I had
Sen's
some
using
comments
their
made
tech
about
powers.
his Blade Storm usage on that C site as well. They still won that
I don't know
round
what's
this
going
time.
on
That
out
missed
there.
shot on the up wall cost him a little bit more.
Something's fucked
Still,
up,
you could
though.
argue, despite that miss, if he had hit, obviously numbers would be slightly better, but could Sentinels have still just kind of annihilated members on site as they did, killing Hapuway as he's
Am I posting these
approaching
games
from
on
C.
YouTube? No.
Really critical there. Now Sentinels find double digits.
Neural theft, still an op. XLG have options, while Narrate has Hunter's Fury. And it's good post-pause that Sentinels have stayed composed, pull out a round win, and hit double digits, 3 away from staying alive.
Need to trust Raga to be able to hold down C this time. We've seen his patience shown before. Previous round, he looked down A long for what felt like the entirety of the round. Eventually, will get rewarded.
Trying it again.
But it's going to be B once more. Happyway closer this time. It's going to be a cancel from Sentinels.
Zekin with the fake, and I like the way he's not always committed, but with the double swing from
Good trade.
XLG, Celsius finds a good punish, and Coconut will back away, hoping to get Havoy into a position for a flash to help. The teleport forward from Bang. No, he doesn't commit, he doesn't stick it, especially with the
Tag
spike.
them.
That's a
Ult him.
risk when Sentinels didn't have the sight fully. Fury
Nice.
to guarantee it. Celsius comes
Nice.
so short. And XLG.
Oh my god, everyone else died.
Down with ults.
Wait,
Not over yet though. It's 3 versus 2. Sentinels will have the objective on their side on the high ground. It's unsmoked as Havoya still has a fault line. Rarga.
2 players left to play through. Given that he dropped the operator, they want to play for this as well. Fault line's going to be huge here. 2 away, Havoya from the Rolling Thunder, probably too far.
Havoya, fault line does hit those below members, but Sentinels
11-8. Let's go.
Quicker to the trigger. 2 away.
The spoilers are crazy. I know they are.
Couple rounds in a row have not been able to stop this pressure coming through from Sentinels from B, now over on the A side as well. And as mentioned, Hunter's Fear from Narrate.
I think John is just
required at the end of the tag on towards
not
Coconut.
having the greatest event. Couldn't tell you why,
so
but
far. You really need to see players
I think
like
he's the
Coconut be able to
GOAT.
step up.
It's a matter of when he
those
bounces
tight
back.
moments to be able to make those kills happen. Viva at least
I'm
got
not too
himself
stressed
the
out
one.
by it.
Viva's been tight so far.
But hopefully we can
In
close
terms
out
of
this
getting his
series.
mechanics on board, but yeah, losing him early will hurt, and he's on board again. To get something done early in towards short. Calling over some help now. It's going to be Havoya rotating.
You should run.
All right, lockdown. That's how Sentinels don't have to think too hard. They can just use these ults from the Hunter's Fury last round to now a lockdown, but it doesn't really reach the back of the site, so the high ground's gonna be a threat. It is smoked. Havoya did get some damage. XLG just
I don't know
2
about
hero
this.
rifles, gonna do what they can, playing up close and personal. Sentinels
I love this.
Even while blinded, you cannot perturb Zekin like that.
Wow,
With Bang and
okay.
John Cutie in the equation, they subtract
Okay.
XLG. Series point for Sentinels.
And we come back from the pause, and Sentinels are in command.
I don't know.
The early 5 rounds from 13 to 17 looked like it was
he's
XLG
lagging, but I don't know if he
bouncing
is.
back, but from 18 to 20.
I don't know
it's
if he's
been
lagging,
all
bro. I don't
Sen
know.
all day. And we're about to convert Riyadh to Sen City instead. Sentinels, one of the likely favorites coming through from this group in general for this tournament. Now looking to close things out, 1 away from victory.
Winner of this facing
100 teams are up
DRX for the
12-10
final
versus
spot
EDG as well.
out of Group B as a second seed. And dodging the op shot. I don't want to dog on Rarga, but got to hit those against
Dang,
the
it's 21-9.
Neon.
Yeah,
Now I don't blame him as much. Now, to the opposite side of the map we go for Sentinels after hearing that op.
This is going to be Coconut once more. Needed to hold on. Smoke down early is good. Paranoia available as well. Holding on to that one as he's about to set up his 2 teammates. However, may have sent that one a little bit early. As a rotate will now come through from Sen.
Alarm bot out.
You want to be in a safer position within the site before the Rolling Thunder.
So lame from
could emerge
Sentinels.
Havoya.
Tech pause
It's
cringe.
a very good read
It's
out of
obvious they
Sentinels
did it
to
on
abandon
purpose.
that.
2-10.
Big info from Viva, by the way, holding long this entire way through, which is why now the smoke being sent in his face will cause some issues and start to see shifts now. A single smoke will cause rotations and allowing Sentinels to walk over through on towards B. This is going to be a fast rolling thunder.
I mean, there's been fucking...
Havoya better be ready for
There's been tech pauses like throughout the whole event.
Early Rolling Thunder, hearing Zekin activate. XLG don't get a punish and the smoke's in place, so XLG deny B site, and Havoya with 3 from Garage.
That was fucking sick.
Completely cancels out that round from the Sentinels.
Still, though, going to attempt to get something done over here, at least put some damage on the Raga. Put that operator away. Zekin even will hold the gun. There's not going to be time to win the round for Sentinels anymore, but Zekin, after this round is over, he's actually going to enter the next round with an op if he doesn't swap a gun right now. Yeah.
It's not over yet. XLG on their last life. What a turnout from Havoya, from a Rolling Thunder.
They have to fix this UI.
They couldn't fully
The
utilize
UI, the player spoilers.
pulling that early, especially after seeing the walls come up from Zekin.
The tech issues, there's a lot.
Rotating into Garage, getting an insane 3K.
There's some good things, but there's a lot of
what
bad
a read
things
as well
too.
from Havoya to say, okay, pressure on towards A.
Too tired.
May have to start the consideration of the rotations, but he's saying, no, let me just stay on B a little bit longer. We can play a retake with the Rolling Thunder if I'm wrong, but he got it right. It was in fact B, and that got value.
Zekin's really good at these fakes. The wall's up, he takes damage. And if John Cutie can get it there,
nice.
The pit, it's everything, but the kills come through. It's Viva and Rarga. The pit is up, rotations on the way. Call 911, and it's for XLG this time. who forced the map 3, and a 2 versus 4 comeback is what is demanded for XLG to live on before they say goodbye to Group B. And Sentinels, time is on their side. They just have to hold the door. Viva gets stunned around the corner. He lives, but it's taking away the last life for XLG.
I haven't seen shit, bro. Wrap it up.
Good
job.
And Cell says,
Bit of a shit show, but hey, we fucking did it.
13-9.
Bit of a fucking
We've
shit
seen
show.
them win this before,
but we did it.
In various situations, this combo, Raga and Viva, but not this
They
time
do not look
around.
happy,
Too
they
much
look
to play
pissed.
into. The pit,
They
everyone on
look
site to play,
pissed.
defend against it, and just the fact that you just have no time left as well. It was a strong look for XLG to bring this one to map number 3.
Oh my god. I feel bad for them too, XLG, because there was a lot of tech pauses. But I assure you that there's no fucking universe that we're doing it on purpose.
Back. Some still inside the smoke, and
What?
they're caught running
over
out
too.
of it. Too slow to follow up on that paranoia. 100 thieves.
Both teams lost on Haven at the same moment.
They're right back to winning ways. 1-0. That round looked
Oh my god,
done.
what the fuck?
I can't believe they closed it like that. Like the fact that that turned into a 2 versus 4 and then both players just hitting 2 taps in a matter of seconds. It looked like everything needed to be done by EDG had been done to take us to overtime. But in the end, it wasn't enough. They will head to their own map choice in a deficit as they've got to try and turn this one around.
Oh, they're gonna crush the metal, you're right. Let's watch.
4 for XLG. And on a different day, XLG were very well rounded, but had some pop-offs to force the map 3, but it's Sentinels just ooze with talent, and I'm looking forward to checking in with them as Pilski's got an interview.
I'm here with John QT from Sentinels. They just took down a very hard-fought victory against XLG. More difficult game than you guys had against XLG last time around. Playing with a little bit of a different roster. They changed a couple of their comps as well. How was the game today?
Definitely a long one with all the pauses and stuff like that, but yeah, they played really well considering they had their coach. They really like pushed us to the edge, and yeah, difficult one for sure.
Yeah, 100%. You guys have got a really good win rate against Chinese teams at this point through Toronto into this tournament as well. You're continuing that. Is there any reason for that in particular, like stylistically, are any of them similar, or you guys just have good prep against most opponents?
I mean, I think we're just a really good team, and like I think we kind of like understand how their playstyle works and kind of like counter it. I think the Chinese teams are really strong and they've improved a lot. I know a lot of people like underrate them, but yeah, they definitely are. Like even when we study them, they definitely have some very good plays, and they're very like they have good structure and mechanically sound for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So 2 more questions for you. I just wanted to ask you quickly about the BBL game as well. That was a very, very tight game as well. And BBL have done quite well in this tournament so far. They're already through into playoffs. You guys played an opening BO1 against them. How did that game go?
Not the best, obviously, but I mean, to be honest, like we lost 2 pistols and a bonus. That's like a 5-6 round swing, and we still took it to overtime. I think the game could have won either way, but they played really well, and I feel like it was just like some details here and there could have made the difference. But yeah, always difficult to play best of ones, but I think we should be better moving forward now. Yeah.
So last question for you. I just ask you about your next match, a team that you haven't played
since
since
Bangkok.
You're going to be going up against DRX, I believe. So are you looking forward to that game? Any particular thoughts on it?
I just realized the cameraman is moving.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that for added effect?
Excited for the game. Kind of looking for a revenge, even though they kind of have like a little bit of a different roster here and there. But it should be a very competitive game, and we'll make sure to prepare and be ready to win tomorrow. Yeah?
All right, well, I'll let you go take a rest. John, thank you so much for the interview, mate, and good luck further in the tournament. Back to the desk.
Not the happiest guy after a win, but just such a hard-fought, well-played match from Sentinels.
Cameraman's tired.
And they stay alive in this group. They're 1-1.
Feed the
they have to face
cameraman.
DRX tomorrow to hope to get to top 8.
Oh, it's a tiring game, you know. It was a very long BO3, not just because we went to all 3 maps and it was close and competitive, but just, you know, he sort of made...